that could have been utilized. Dragon Veil's now back up into the fight, and they're going to have the hoops unbound, trying to force out the fight. Another Night Slash getting damage on Umbreon, but that's not the turkey you want. You want Blaziken. Blaziken still alive, finally finding him with a knockout. Switzerland out of nowhere. Night Slash again, ripping apart Germany. That Lou chasing him away. Now they get the surf onto Red Giant. Low health bars on their side. It's going to be the Revenant to secure it. Diving into the back line yet again. This Arul is still alive. Trying to knock him out. Finally are able to take him out. The tree is too late to help anyone else. Snow-Oh, maybe it's going to clean this up. Razor Leaf thrown out. Same with the Phantom Force. The damage in from Switzerland. Emerald 2-step gets a lot of damage, but that Thunderstorm does way more. And then the trample into the back line, making sure they rip him up hard. That Leafeon did nothing. It knocks out as Machamp, the last one. Trying to go for a huge barrage. What a punch there from Yotao. Almost taking the ball down. 1v4. The monster, the man, the myth, the legend. He knocks them all out. Looking for who else remains. The forest is gone. Chops down. But look at the Night Slash. No Snow. Just cleaning up the fight and allowing Switzerland to win. Have that last Reggie is going to be big. The flank onto the other side on it's a Dragon Veil. The tree has been chopped down. Revenant ran on to 99. Almost taking out 89. That's going to be the Phantom Force doing the job for them. Fight will commence. Dragon Veil is going to be the target that they jump on with the Horn Leech getting a lot of damage. And here's the Phantom Force. That's a burst of damage. Even with the knockup, everyone's gone. Switzerland find a beautiful fight. Only having to realize on the other side. No Revenant Rend. Now finally back up. You gotta go for the hero play. Gotta find something. Revenant Rend almost takes him down, but falls. And down to 50%. Someone's gotta get it. There goes Pikachu. Sword Dog goes in, but he's out as well. Only one remains. It's Eldegoss trying to save the day, but Switzerland have won Rayquaza. Switzerland, they upset France earlier today, and here, best of 5. They had everything going for them. No longer are they the penultimate team. No longer are they the bridesmaid. Today is their crowning achievement. They will be your Unity European 2024 champions.
Gamers, welcome back to Unity European Cup 2025. We are here today. I am Bridget. You may have seen me during the quarterfinals, and today we are going to be doing the semifinals, and I'm joined by Lobo. How are you doing, my friend?
Bridget, let me tell you, whenever I get to cast a Pokemon Unite tournament, event, whatever you want to call it, it means I don't get to sleep that day. It is 1:30 in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, but I am here, I'm wide awake, and I'm so excited to be part of an international Pokemon Unite event. This is country versus country. I'm so excited. These players on these teams are usually used to playing with each other, but now teammates turn into rivals. They've already been turned into rivals, so I'm so excited to be here. And oh my god, what a couple of games we got ready for the semifinals, Bridget.
Yes, you can already see the little bit of the preview below us. We have Spain versus France. Some powerhouse rosters. Obviously, we are in the top 4 of this cup. So both of our games today, we're going to be doing both of the semifinal best of 5s today. I almost said this morning, but I need to remember this is a European audience. It's the middle of the night for you. We are not on the same time, but that's okay. Whatever time it is, it's going to be a good one. So yeah, we will have the Spain versus France rosters coming up. And Lobo, I know I've gotten a little more familiar with the European rosters. Obviously, the players representing their countries actually are playing on different rosters for UCS, which we kind of got some previews of now that UCS is starting soon with LAIC being the season opener next week. But we can go more into the players for these teams, or do you have any players you want to highlight from these countries?
Oh, absolutely. I know our boy Tano, we miss him dearly. I get to cast EU with him twice a week, but what a team Spain is throwing out here. Adesu, Jeroe, Alba Noah, Jose and Bertilo. Now that is a very, very competent team. Jerui, very, very formidable tank player, Albanoa as well, support player Jose, and Adesu can really bring the rain when it comes to putting on just big amounts of damage, and Bertilo is definitely someone to watch. I absolutely adore this team, Bridget. Just seeing these players who I know usually play on different teams as well, but seeing them together on the same team right now is such a great thing to see. So, I mean, all eyes are on Desu. When we see a Desu come to play, all eyes go onto them, but keep an eye on Jose and Bertilo as well. They have the ability to pop off and really cause their enemy team some problems. Albanoa, also a very, very fun player to watch as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see the little Eevee stickers on their player cards. The Eevees got buffed. I'm sure they're in for a good time, but we also have quite the demonic roster for France. We have Qatar, Nachos, Greg, Cranny, and Rezu, all kind of household European names at this point in time. I mean, Cranny was just absolutely popping off last week during our quarterfinals. I feel like I couldn't stop saying his name when I was casting, just making so many plays. I'm excited to see, you've already brought up the patch a little bit, I'm excited to see if the patch kind of has any influence on the mons that these teams are going to be playing today, but we will find out pretty quickly as we jump into this first set.
No, I'm really excited here, Bridget. Like, again, I'm really looking forward to seeing Greg and Qatar play. Great supporter and defender players. They're able to just pick out and really support their team from the front line. I believe we've got a little bit of history between these two teams as well, Bridget. Our incredible production that we have. Unity Clash has got a nice history here. These two teams met back in 2022 in the group stages. Spain got defeated 3-1. In 2023, Spain got defeated in stage 1. And in 2024, there were a few DQs. But again, so Spain probably looking for some comeback here against France as we're going to head on into this draft. Now, that is a very interesting first pick for the draft, Bridget, because that is a Pokemon near and dear to my heart. It got buffed in the latest patch. Mimikyu, the Pikachu wannabe, not going to be allowed to play neither of the two other all-rounders, Blaziken and Mega Lucario.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a few of those top lane and jungle Pokemon with Blaziken, Leafeon getting a ban as well, and Mega Lucario. Notably, Mega Charizard making it through this draft, which I don't believe is like a tournament ban. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but it does seem like maybe those nerfs on Mega Charizard were enough to get it knocked down out of that permaban spot that it was in, I think, pretty much the entire time last week. So instead, we are going to see Spain pick up that Suicune, who is a notable nerf dodger. Do not understand why. This guy has never been bad in its entirety of being in the game of Pokemon Unite, so not shocking to see that Suicune first pick.
No, absolutely not. Suicune is Pokemon. I think we were talking about Tana with this. You could take away all of the damage that it deals, and it would still be one of the top picks because of the amount of crowd control that it provides. Just the stun, the CC, the ice, the freeze is so incredibly annoying to deal with. But on the other side, France have gone with an alternate first pick, picking up Greninja. When was the last time you saw a first pick Greninja? But that is Traffy that is going to be playing that Greninja. Qatar is going to go with Snorlax, probably the most prominent defender right now, Bridget. I think just the utility of Snorlax with Heavy Slam, Yawn, and Block as well. Albano is going to pick up the little Trickster Demon itself, Cooper, and Bertilo is going to show us Azad. But oof, the EU special coming out for France with Zoroark and Comfey.
I'm already horrified by both of these draft lines. I can't really decide which one I hate more in terms of, like, it's scaring me and I don't like it. We are going to see Adesu pick up his Sylveon. He was playing this last week before it was buffed, so I am not surprised at all to see him grab it now that it's gotten some nice little buffs to its movesets. Talonflame also coming out for Spain, and Buzzwole. I mean, this is horrifying. This is horrifying.
This is filthy when it comes to this draft, Bridget. But like, Rezu's got a nice like 3 options here. Usually we expect a Comfy just to sit on that Zoroark, but you know, Kokushu picking up that Buzzsaw and Traffy on that Greninja, that Rezu just has a limited amount of targets to go. But I do have to ask you, was Adesu playing Mystical Fire or were they playing the Screamion last time you saw them?
I believe he was on that Mystical Fire build, which I would be probably inclined to say that we will see him on again. It is just a 1v1 demon. He was having really, really good positioning when he was playing that Mon, and with that Zoroark on the other side, I think you would want that kind of mobility to hunt him down and catch him. But with that Comfey, it makes Zoroark a lot scarier. I mean, I always feel like I'm questioning when teams play the Zoroark without the Comfey. It just doesn't feel right or complete. So getting that duo is very, very scary. We shall see. But I'm pretty excited to see Mega Charizard in action right off the bat. I don't think I've ever casted it, so it should be pretty fun to see how it performs when it's not getting banned out.
Oh, it's interesting that Mega Charizard's actually taking the top lane here, probably looking for those stacks as Eevee. Sylveon is going to head into the central lane. We do have a Hooper invade right off the bat. I mean, one of the best ways, Bridget, right now is to stop a Zoroark from getting online, is to deprive it of all of that farm. Talonflame but here popping that X attack, trying to get a KO on Traffy on that little Froakie, but the eject goes through by Katana, pick up a nice KO on the Fletchling, and France have gotten the better of this in the early stages, Bridget.
Yeah, Snorlax early game is nothing to mess with, but it looks like Adesu in that top path was able to get a KO on that Buzzwole. I was a bit afraid for the Charmander Buzzwole 1v1 going on up there. It was not looking good for our friend Charmander, but Adesu with that really quick jungle clear, able to get that gank early and kind of take them by surprise, getting a KO, which is massive. We're even going to see the little baby bird get a KO, but it's not long for this world as Zoroark and Comfey make their way down to that bottom path. So it looks like most of the gamers are going to be in that bottom path for these first Altaria, but quickly making their way out.
No, it is interesting to see how that entire exchange in the bottom lane did path out. We've got Charmeleon online as well. No supporter here right now for Buzzwole as Adesu decides that they want to maintain that top lane positioning. Adesu with that Mystical Fire is just roaming all over that map right now. Bridge is trying to take out any advantage that they can, but it's going to be Zoroark Comfey versus the Sylveon right now. Adesu does manage to survive the block, and there is the freeze, and Adesu comes out with round 1, taking it for the Sylveon and the side of Spain.
Wow, it has been so impressive to see how Adesu is maneuvering on the Sylveon. I guess this is the answer to Buzzwole. It kind of can feel like Buzzwole like dominates this early game, but getting Sylveon online so fast with those jungle buffs has just really been a game changer for Spain as we see them pick up that Regidrago objective in the middle. I mean, both of these teams have been rotating all over the map like crazy. It's kind of been hard to keep track of. It feels like we're kind of in our lanes now, finally, but that has really not been the case for the first 2.5 minutes.
No, and I think that comes from the new Groudon, really. Like, there's so much to do all over the map that's got to go through, but we got a 3v2 inside the top path. Adesu gets felled very quickly by the Zoroark Buzzwole combination, but Traffy is also here. 3 in the top lane, and just like that, they have taken away the tier 1 top lane, have the side of France. Now, Spain have it all to do. They can decide to push here. I'm curious, we are seeing a Brave Bird come out right now from the side of Spain, which means Trick Hooper into that Brave Bird is going to be great. There's the Nightfall Daze, going to be popped by the Zoroark to try and survive, but the Draining Kiss from Adesu is going to try and chase down, but Zoroark is not going to be caught easily, Bridget, as a Regirock goes to the side of Spain as well. Regieleki not getting any love right now.
Yeah, so surprising. I feel like last week, Regieleki was kind of the star of the show, kind of seemed to be that priority objective, but it looks like bot lane is getting all the action today as France is trying to make another push down in this bot lane. Talonflame Unite move comes out. We see that utilization of that Trick Hoopa. He is getting in and out, and finally Spain is able to build back some of that momentum they had just lost in that top lane engage.
Traffic did try to come in with the Water Burst Shuriken, but the Flame Sweep from Talonflame, like you mentioned, Bridget, just being able to clear everybody out. Now we've got 160 to 135. Spain have turned it around, and we have not even hit that halfway point yet, Bridget. These teams, it's a seesaw battle so far, but now Regieleki probably finally going to get some attention here. Comfey, the only Pokemon on the side of Team France with a Unite move to use. Bravebird's going to go in. Boswell's going to take a quick trip back to Nurse Joy as Spain turn their attention to the Regieleki. Snorlax thought about going in. Can Qatar go in for a heavy slam? But no, it is gonna be Talonflame that secures that. Now is a 6v5 situation down here. Regieleki walks in. Overcap's gonna do that quick math, and they're gonna wait and be patient with this one. Nice 20 Overcap going in as they take a commanding lead going into the halfway point.
Yes, good math on the side of Spain. They dedicated all of their teammates to that top lane push. Meanwhile, Nachos on the Zoroark kind of just getting some more farm that he could from the bottom side. Also able to get a KO on a Dezu. Breaks out the Unite move. Doesn't able to land it on anyone just quite yet. Is still going to go back in. Does not want their team to get even more behind. They're trying to make a big defense here, but not able to get any more KOs, but is able to scare away Spain for the time being.
Oh, this Brave Bird Talonflame with this Trick Hooper is so useful here, Bridget. Just being able to go in unabated. Brave Bird usually just leaves you out in no man's land, but with that Trick Hooper, the amount of damage, almost like a nuclear option here, a big delete button for the side of Spain if they want to delete France's team. Boswell is struggling a little bit in this top side. I don't know if they managed to get enough stacks on, but Adesu is just keeping the shackles on this Boswell, really just not allowing it to play its game. Zoroark might be found here, just waiting in a bush as all members of Team Spain are turning. A beautiful Brave Bird cuts them off at the pass, read their mind like a book. And Team Spain are rolling here, Bridget. Can't decide whether they want to score or go for it, but finally, Mega Zard makes its first appearance.
Yeah, and it is going to try to take on this 1v1 with the Buzzwole. Adesu coming in for that support, but the KO does go to our big blue guy, Mega Charizard, finally getting a little more action here because it does feel like for Mega Charizard being in the game, my eyes are on this Sylveon and Talonflame. They have just been all over this map as we have another engage in this central area. Hoopa breaking out its Unite move to get the rest of its teammates there, but it looks like no KOs just quite yet.
I mean, Endless Ice Spikes are coming out along with the Brawl Fields of Healing. There's a KO from Zoroark on to the Talonflame. Boswell has got the big, beefy muscles going as it's trying to slam down the Hooper. Hooper comes out of its unbound form. Another KO, 2 KO streak for Zoroark. Gonna try and take down the Suicune as well, but Adesu fights back with a 2 KO of their own. Boswell gets a 2 KO as well. Adesu is the only one alive left for Spain. It's gonna get punched by Boswell, but are they gonna get chased down because the Comfy's there now? Adesu has absolutely nowhere to go. And that is exactly what Team France wanted to work with. They've taken the lead and they've gotten the KOs. They've outplayed Spain, in that moment as we head into final stretch right now, Bridget. Tension turns to a Regieleki that looks almost free for Team France.
Yeah, Nachos is popping off on the Zoroark, level 14, the only level 14 in this game so far. I feel like we haven't seen quite as big of plays from the Gren and Buzzwole so far. Buzzwole obviously providing so much CC. That pretty much is the big game moves he is able to do as he finally is getting the... Sorry, I got distracted by the Registeel KOing the Talonflame. Don't remember what I was saying. That was more important. Snorlax from France getting Registeel.
I mean, when in these high skill games do you ever see a Registeel manage to take out one of these incredible players here? Just unfortunate, but nice corralling of that team there at the 205-minute mark. Charizard could use its Unite. The Zoroark is here. There's the Unite. Mega Charizard is on the field, and Sylveon is running for the hills. Adesu gets taken down before Groudon is even able to spawn. Now Snorlax is the target here. Brave Bird into the Fire Punch. Now we've got the Power Nap coming through as well. Talonflame's going to come through with the Brave Bird and the Flame Sweep. Hooper's going to go up round, bringing the rest of Team Spain in. 3 members down for the side of Team France. Team Spain with that Hooper Unite were able to turn it around, but look at Snorlax here, Bridget. Gonna go for a little sneaky.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need the Groudon to win the game. France does have the lead, but Spain got that Groudon. I mean, it just felt like France was a little too split up, with Nachos being far in the jungle. Cranny was kind of bot side. They weren't able to unify for that Groudon, and Spain was able to just pick them off as they try to make a push for this goal zone, but haven't been able to get a Duncan just yet. But with this 3 KOs coming out, it seems like Spain will be able to get these dunks in that they need.
I mean, it was a great battle by Spain going there. I mean, France tried to go for the surprise route, like you said, Zorak inside the enemy team's central lane, but that is not where you want to be when you're staring down a Charizard with that Unite that turns it into its Mega form, and there is going to be the white flag. Bridget, game number 1 going to Spain. That was an exciting one. A lot of interesting plays. Sometimes we thought maybe a misplay. Sometimes we thought maybe, I don't know if it's a bit of miscommunication, but there was chaos reigning all over that map. We thought France had the advantage going in with the surprise, but Spain came through with the Hooper Unite. Now, this is exactly why Albanoa chose that little trick. So that Hooper Unite, so useful. And the combination plays with Jose, with Brave Bird and Trick was absolutely outstanding.
100%. Yeah, the coordination from Spain was very prominent, and I feel like was the key to their success in this game. I mean, it could have gone pretty poorly after they lost 2 members in that kind of like last second Registeel fight, but they were able to clutch it up. Adezo with that KO lead, 9 KOs on that Sylveon. Like I said, it just felt like he was everywhere on this map. He is so good at this mon, and it shows every single time he picks it up and lets us see the masterclass of the Sylveon. But big shout out to all of the damage dealers. I feel like I was pretty impressed with everyone in this game. Not a big damage game. It did feel like we were fighting quite a bit, but maybe it was just like a lot of like coverage and like poking each other out.
Yeah, look, no really traditional attackers on either side, mostly speedsters and all-rounders. So, not a lot of backline poke from most of these teams. I think Adesu on that Sylveon, you saw also they only took the red buff heading on into that central lane and then went for the early engaged top lane. And then we saw, I believe it was Talonflame went to top side first in the initial entrance of the game. But then also once Sylveon and Adesu were online, Talonflame went back to get the rest of that central lane. And then it was given, I believe, no, not Birdillo. It was then rotated around most of that team. So I think that's such an interesting way to play that central lane where the Pokemon like Sylveon, again, all the evolutions, you and I talked about it a little bit before. The evolutions are in such a strong position because even at level 4, most of the evolutions, apart from Glaceon, are kind of already online. Mystical Fire is online. Psyshock and Stored Power is online. We've got Solar Blade and Razor Leaf that are online as well. So it is only Glaceon that actually needs that second move, Ice Shard, to really get going. The rest of the evolutions can just, move however they really want. So I think it's a smart decision, interesting play, as well as Sylveon buffs. Draining Kiss got buffed, Draining Kiss Plus got buffed, and the Unite move Fairy Frolic got buffed as well. So again, they're doing, if a Pokemon gets buffed, you gotta play it, Bridget.
Those are the rules, either buffed or either picked or banned, as we saw from that Leafeon and Mimikyu also receiving some buffs in this latest patch. So it's EV season, unfortunately, for all of us, I guess. It's a group loss, but it's okay. We're getting Vaporeon soon. That's really all I care about. But I thought you did bring up a good point. I feel like we've seen a lot of long range attackers in this metagame, the likes of Miraidon, Venusaur, Mew obviously getting banned out in the previous game. But we are going to jump into this game to draft. We already have our bans and some of these picks on the board. France is going with a bit of an unconventional draft line where Spain looks about the same as it was in this previous game.
Interesting. The bans are exactly the same. Mimikyu, Blaziken, Mew, Leafeon, Mega Lucario, and Blissey actually gonna get banned off as well. Spain has gone with the same lineup, like you said, but Adesu's actually switched to another evolution. Adesu is an EV Enjoyer confirmed. here right at the Unity European Cup. Jose's going to pick up Scissor, but I'm assuming just by those items that they're running, Bridget, that is going to be a Speedster Scyther coming out as well. Nacho's going to stick with the Zeraora. However, Rezu going with the Sableye. Now, I'm usually a Sableye skeptic. However,
Ooh.
whenever I see Sableyes played in these tournaments, the level of play and level of team, I want to say synergy around a Sableye is absolutely fantastic. Like, so Nachos and Traffy have decided to stick with the Pokemon that I don't think we saw pop off too much. Of course, Zoroark did. We didn't see too much of Traffy. However, we're seeing Machamp come into the play here. So it's real interesting the side of France, what they've decided to go with, which I'm not really seeing too much synergy from their side. Whereas Spain have just decided to go with, hey, if it worked in the first game, let's just make one tweak and go with something else.
Yeah, I really love the choice of the Scyther from Spain. I feel like I saw Jose pop off on it last week. It was phenomenal. I think it's so wise to pick a speedster into another speedster. It can kind of feel like the only way to counter that kind of pick. So appreciate that choice out of France to go with the Zoroark once again. I also do like this Machamp pick. I have to imagine we're going submission, which that Invincible can be really, really valuable into heavy CC like Espeon, pending what moveset we are going to see, and Suicune especially. I mean, that guy is just freezing you left and right on its own. So we will see how France is able to bounce back in this game number 2.
I mean, it's also interesting that we're seeing another buffed evolution here, Bridget, because Espeon's natural stats were buffed. Its HP was buffed. Its defense was buffed. So was its special defense. Stored Power and Future Sight, which has been, I want to say, the most common moveset here for Espeon, really. We do see Psyshock being played. I'm a big fan of Psyshock over Stored Power just because of the stun and the big amounts of damage it's able to do. But here is what Rezu really wants to do. Managing to take that red buff away from a Scyther inside that central lane. Now, this is why you play Sableye, Bridget. It just has that ability to give you so much information on the map, and Team France just look like they want to annoy the heck out of Team Spain, but Hoopa, turnabout is fair play. Gonna go for an invade itself.
Yeah, Hoopa not as successful on this invade, is not leaving with any buffs, unlike Rezu. I mean, that is one of the biggest perks of Sableye. You can really have a big influence on this early game, as we already have these first Altarias spawning. It looks like Nachos is going to pick up a lot of them for France. Here we see that submission come out, do a flip on that little Charmander. France coming out with a lot of action, getting the first points in of this game and showing us that they are here to play. That first game was potentially a fluke, and they want to prove us wrong, as we have another fight going on in this central area.
I mean, we talked about it really a little bit post-game after game number 1. There's a beautiful submission to take the Suicune out of the hyperspace hole. No trick coming around because no Talonflame for the side of Spain. So we're going for the healing from the side of Hoopa. And I actually really, really like this, Bridget, from Machoke here, because just being able to reposition into possibly a Sableye Confuse, then into a Snorlax block, that just sets up a lot of attacking potential for the side of France. Charmander is still not online at the 750 mark. They're still sitting at that, just evolved to that level 5. So really been hindered for a while. Sableye here is going to try and put the confusion on at Scyther, which is exactly what they want to do. And Nachos tried to come and clean up, but it was Charmeleon that managed to get the Regidrago. Nachos gets a KO on the Scyther, but Suicune gets one back on the Snorlax. KO's raining left and right here, Bridget. Once again, these two teams neck and neck with these KOs. That scoreline is not going to stay that divided for very long.
Absolutely. Really great secure from the side of Spain. They desperately needed that XP, as Nachos picks up another KO in that top lane. I mean, he just is hungry for these KOs. Traffy getting one as well, but not for too long before Jose comes in and is trying to get some momentum for their team. It's not quite enough. Qatar getting the KO on that Lax. France is low on HP, though. They have to back away from this Regieleki because he hits kind of hard.
It does. Regieleki is here, but Nachos does not want to give up anything. Has to pull out the Nightfall Days to pick up the KO. Charizard dangerously low, but comes back with the boosted I don't think Nachos was happy at all about the way that game one ended, Bridget, and it is showing this Zorak without a Comfey. We talked about it as well, game one, that sometimes we don't really see Zorak without a Comfey. Nachos kind of might have hurt us there, sitting behind the caster's desk, guys. Let me show you what I can do.
That submission into the Machamp Unite move was actually so devastating. I am obsessed with this Machamp pick. It is not looking good as Scyther picks up 2 KOs there, but wow, what a play. And Snorlax and Traffy able to get that revenge KO for their squad. France is looking so locked in. As we noted, their XP is just on another level. 3 level 10s already as we're around this 545 mark. I mean, they have control of this game thus far.
No, I agree with you, but Charizard is here with that Fire Punch. It's got a great range, does it, Bridget? There's a combo, the combo breaker gonna go from Zorak. Gonna try and avoid the freeze, especially with that illusion and the full heal. Zorak is quite a hard Pokemon to CC down. Charizard has decided that Snorlax is gonna feel the brunt of the punches. The Hyperspace Soul is gonna try and take them to tier 2 to try and defend it. Traffy got some scores, but that was a distraction, because look at where Machamp is going. Traffy, little ninja that they are, makes a goal, the Houdini! The Houdini move, Traffy, you are ridiculous.
That is a stressful place to be in, but France putting so much pressure on these goal zones in the top and bottom path, able to break the top goal zone with not the biggest overcap, but getting that 40 dunk in on the tier 2 in the bot lane more than makes up for it. France is quite the point lead at this point in the game, as it looks like Zorak is going to be trying to ripping down that bottom objective before Spain is able to get there.
I mean, look at that. Even Residue just being able to stun out the Suicune so that it couldn't move. The assistance of the Residue. There we go. They've decided. Charizard has said it's time to go Mega. It's time to Mega Evolve. Snorlax is going to take a nap right in the face of a Mega Charizard and just pop the yawn away as well. Machamp picks up a KO on Jose, having to pop that Barrage blow. I didn't see if they actually used the Barrage Blade. They did, but that submission is going because Regieleki has walked in. Another 10 goes in for the side of France, and just the seesaw motion that's going on right now, Bridget, is giving me motion sickness because they're scoring top lane, they're scoring bot lane, they're doing whatever they can. We're here, and Sableye, oh no way, Sableye gets out on an HP in a dream.
Yeah, France is doing an amazing job. I feel like distracting Spain from these key objectives. As we see, we get France is able to secure that Registeel in the top path because Spain just has to deal with this Machamp and the Sableye actually being little gremlins all over the place. France is going for this Drago. I mean, France has been able to secure up almost every objective in this game so far.
I mean, that's a nice freeze into the Fire Punch to take a KO back at the 3-minute 20 mark. We almost have Unite moves can still be used before the 3-minute mark, but Nachos gonna get a sneaky into the home pad. They're gonna get a nice, I want to see if they can do the math here, Bridget. That was 80 going into top pad, 40, 37, and I don't know what else came in, and 50. Not bad. I think that was almost like, I think you can average that out to a 35 overcap. I'm not going to try and do the quick math because I'm just
You're brave for even thinking about doing the math. I was like not even gonna try, but I respect you and I think you're brave for that, and that's what it's all about. I mean, France's point lead at this point is just disgusting. I cannot believe Nachos was able to get a goal on that home goal zone at this point in the game. It feels illegal. He has been playing phenomenally on this Zorak level 14 once again, and it looks like France is even going to hold this Alecki for as long as possible just to make sure that it's running at the home goal zone during this 2-minute mark, but it looks like our fight is already breaking out.
I mean, into the Barrage Blow, there went the Endless Ice Spikes. Charizard has decided to go Mega as well. Regieleki has decided to stomp right down to that home goal zone right now. 2 members down for the side of Team Spain. 3 members down for the side of Team France. Nachos is still alive. Had to pop out the Nightfall Days. They're the only one left alive. Nachos managing to pick up the final KOs, but Adesu is still alive, and they have to be very careful because the Stored Power is a short hit move. Adesu is chasing Nachos down, but now that Regieleki has walked in, Bridget, there is a Again, do I want to try this math? That's almost 300 points there, but Team Spain could take this. The rest of Team France is here. Sableye unable to do it. And once again, Team Spain, from a almost seemingly losing position, takes a Groudon with 1 minute 20 on a go. But look at where Nachos is. Look at where Rezu is. Look at where Machamp is. And all they have to deal with is a lone Adesu.
Yeah, it's going to come down to how many points are in everyone's pockets. Adezu, sadly, in a 1v3 situation, going to have to give up that Groudon buff as well to Cranny on the Machamp. Scyther not allowing it for too long, but Spain is still way down in points. They have to get some more dunks in if they want to win this game. I mean, we're still looking at almost 150 point difference. There aren't a lot of teammates up on the side of France, so Spain does have an opportunity here, but Traffy is going to do everything he can to get a KO on the Scyther. I mean, what amazing defense from France right now. Charizard is able to get a 100 dunk in, but is there enough time to get more points?
There's 40 points, there's 50 points left, and they're just having a look at the pockets. They've got 6, 3, 4, and 40. Suicune is the only one with 40. Suicune needs to get a dunk in, but the rest of Team France is here. They are falling like flies. Bridget, Adesu is the only one left alive, having to use that Psychic Solaire. That is a team wipe. Run, Rezu, run. Get to that home pad, you little sneaky gremlin. Team France playing absolutely beautifully in this game number 2 to tie it up 1 apiece.
Incredible defense. I mean, this is just the kind of end game that Groudon allows, which is so much more exciting to watch. I can't say it maybe feels great as a player if you get the last objective and still don't necessarily win, but it just means that macro is all that more important. I mean, France was all over Spain this entire game, so really, really, really amazing macro choices. We are, again, I think an even lower damage game than the previous game 1, but what a pivot from France, just kind of go all in on this like score comp type.
Look, this is exactly what I wanted to see here, Bridget, as well. Look at the objectives secured by, I believe it was France. Regieleki, Registeel, Regieleki, Registeel, Regidrago. That sounds like I'm doing a little nursery rhyme there, but wow, just all of the objectives taken off for the side for Team France. And it was just, I want to say, beautifully played. The seesaw motion from top to bottom, Traffy scoring, and then pulling everybody into that tier 2, then allowed Kranix to score on the Machamp. When they went to go stop the Machamp, Nachos came and broke the bottom base. And then at the all end, once the Groudon was taken, they knew Adesu was back. They knew Adesu was going to get KO'd because of that 1v3 situation right there. So what did they do? Team France put on the pressure because Spain knew that if they scored more, they were not going to be able to claw this back even with a push. So getting a few dunks in, having 3 people at your home base is cause for concern because they get more points in. So a lot of really nice mind games going on from the side of Team France. I absolutely loved it. Great response after that game number 1.
Yeah, really, really incredible job from both of these teams. We are in a 1-1 situation now, and as a reminder, this is a best of 5, so we have a lot more games left, a lot more mind games from both these teams to see come out. I'm really interested in how Spain is going to pivot. As we saw, they didn't really change up their draft too much, but that Hoopa portal just wasn't as strong as I feel like the trick was able to be with that Talonflame. I mean, so much CC came out from the side of France that made getting in those portals a little more difficult. Also, when there's so much burst damage, like Nachos on a Zoroark, it is just almost too much time to get in the portal and then come back before you are ultimately KO'd by the Zoroark before you can even get in the portal. But here we go, our game number 3. So far, draft, the bans especially looking pretty similar, except for that Zoroark. No more Zoroark, Nachos, sorry.
No more Zoroark, and also no more Suicune for the side of Spain either. No, Jeroe's not going to be able to pick up that Suicune, but I think, nope, they're actually going to let the Suicune through. and go for the Blissey ban instead, perhaps thinking that if they leave Suicune on the table, it's going to be picked up by Spain. Unfortunately, we're not able to see Delmice today. It is banned out
Boo.
specifically for this tournament. It's got a fun gimmick of a Pokemon. I don't mind it. It's quite hilarious with some of the moves that people try and pull off. But Jero is going to stick with that tried and true Suicune. Traffy's going to pick up Greninja, which is interesting to me. I'm curious why they're going for that Greninja in that first spot here, Bridget, because I mean, I'm pretty sure Jose could possibly play it. Adesu could possibly pick up the Greninja as well, but I don't think anyone really wants to. I think Traffy just really attached to that frog. But I want to talk to you about Fertilo's Mega Charizard right now. They don't seem to be anything mega about that Charizard. Not as effective as we have seen it be in the past.
Yeah, I mean, really the drag of Mega Charizard is that you have to play as Charmander for a little while, which I think was the downfall of Spain in this last game. Not the only one, but it did take a while for Birdie to get online with that Charizard. We're going to see France stick with that Machamp, which I think was a great call. It looked phenomenal. And then we're going to see the Psyduck come out of Rezu. I feel like Psyduck has been a little forgotten almost. He used to be such a demon in competitive and on ladder, and I still think it is super strong, so I love to see it come out. Rezu has been an actual demon on all of these supports so far today, so excited to see him on the duck.
I mean, Psyduck, I agree with you 100%, Bridget, that Psyduck feels kind of thrown a little bit to the wayside with the other supporters that are there right now. Eldegoss has come back to the forefront as well, as that primary top lane support, alongside, our Cremi Hooper is there as well. We have Latias, Lati Red coming into play, which is a prominent supporter as well, although is it really a supporter? Like, with the amount of damage that thing deals, it's kind of ridiculous. But the fact that Jose has gone back to the Talonflame makes me think Albino is going to go for that trick Hooper moveset, because I mean, France has been very clinical at taking out all of these tier 1s for the side of Spain, which means that Hooper Highway becomes kind of ineffective, doesn't it, Bridget? But it's going to be interesting because they've almost got that one-shot glass cannon right now. Tano would be whooping because that is his favorite Pokemon. We have not seen a Gengar in quite some time, so I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, I like this pivot back to Trick Hoopa, like most likely what we're going to see, especially since France was kind of doing that score comp build, like you said, and Hoopa Portals hates when the goal zones are broken. It is just not nearly as strong as when all of your goal zones are up and you're able to rotate right next to where those Reggie objectives are spawning in. So I like this pivot back for Spain. Not just on the Gengar. I cannot wait. Don't think I've seen a Gengar in a hot minute. Gengar did get some buffs, I think, a patch or two ago. So maybe that is the sauce that we need here, but we are getting into our game number 3 of this best of 5, Spain versus France. I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to see what we're going to do, because that is a stacking Gengar on Nachos as well. We did see the special attack specs, but Snorlax has taken a little bit of damage early on. Traffy might be at risk here, but no, they know that little Froakie, the little ninja that they are, the Shinobi, does know how to escape, but Suicune is just going to try and steal as much farm as they can, but the eject into the hip thrust, and Snorlax says, "Let me be your dance partner," as France draw first blood in this one, Bridget. Oh, we might see something crazy here today.
Yeah, I am definitely excited to see the amalgamation of these comps we've had so far. It's looking like France is making a hard push in this top path area. They have 3 of their members and they are going in deep. Psyduck able to get a big KO there for their squad, but is not able to stop these dunks from going in just yet. There we do see that Trick Hoopa coming out for Spain.
Traffy has decided to rotate to this top side as well, gets the evolution to Frogadier. Kranix is the only one that has not able to get that level 5 evolution just yet, but they're going to fight over this middle is Nachos and Adesu. Traffy has decided to go and has to risk the stored power getting slowed, and Adesu smells blood in the water. No, the stored power got stopped by the hiding in the grass of Traffy. Really nice map awareness, map play coming through. There you go. Kranix is already online. That submission is going to be a problem. Who's going to be the target, Bridget? My money's on the Charmeleon.
Yeah, I think it's really anyone he can get his hands on, but he will not be able to submit anyone just yet as the Talonflame getting that big KO. I mean, this combination with the Hoopa is already so strong for Spain, and I just think these two players have such amazing synergy with it. It's going to be hard for France to stop them. Maybe Psyduck able to get its CC game on strong here, but Spain just picking up another KO. France going to try to get some more points in, but it's looking like a lot of members of Spain, if not all the members of Spain, are in this bottom path ready to fight.
Where did Nachos teleport to? I have no idea. The Brave Bird hit, and I didn't see the KO come up. I saw it just come out. Nachos just disappeared. Traffy gets KO'd as well. Jose, again, now talk about Spain not being happy with how game 2 went as well. They are scoring right in the face of Team France with absolutely no care in the world. You talk about Psyduck trying to get its crowd control on. Suicune says, hold my ice. I'll show you what real crowd control is, because this Suicune is a problem. And I think Team France should have banned this one out as opposed to the other Pokemon that they did choose.
Yeah, it's a hard sell, man. I mean, Suicune is so annoying to go against. Personally, I don't know if I would choose it, but France able to pivot up in this top path, able to get some more points online. Gengar hitting its Unite move, trying to make something happen, does get the KO on that Hoopa. Snorlax KOing that Talonflame as well. Adezu busting out its Unite move, but Gengar not having it. Nachos with that 2 KO streak.
I mean, if there was any time that Pokemon Unite needed to put out an advertisement for Hollowware, just show them that clip. That was absolutely beautiful with the Phantom Ambush coming out from Gengar, but Traffy looking for the Suicune now to try and get rid of some of that CC coming through, but Suicune has its ability to get in and out with the stuns, but not able to avoid being sent back to Nurse Joy this time around. Bridget, we are at almost the halfway point and not a single tier 1 has been busted just yet. 148 to 59 right now. Charizard in a spot of bother. Mate, I think that's got to be the caster's curse, because I said it. It just happened. There goes a tier 1. There's 2 points between these two teams.
Wow, really, really great play from France in that top path. Spain making a play of their own, getting that lead a little wider for them. Machamp kind of all by his lonesome, but not for long. Nachos coming in, hitting those shadow balls. Oh, we hit the wall though with that Machamp Unite move. Gengar busting out theirs as well.
Ooh.
Once the Spaniards out of their jungle, and they are able to kind of diffuse this fight out.
I mean, I think just popping the Phantom Ambush was enough to just really ward the rest of Spain off there, because once Nachos pops up, they can just hit the boosted coming through from the Unite move, having to also put a big amount of damage, but also the Hypnosis into the Shadow Ball. Sorry, Dream Eater into the Shadow Ball is just so powerful. We got Jose is going to just take this Regieleki off the board, as the rest of Team Spain are going to distract Team France. That is a Regieleki marching on to tier 2, and there is the old standard textbook Hoopa Unite to the top lane. Roll call has been done. Avengers have been assembled. 2 objectives for the side of Team Spain within the space of 20 seconds. But interestingly enough, Bridget, they're very hesitant to push on, because all of Team France is showing face, and Endless Ice Spike misses completely.
Yeah, Spain may be able to get this cold zone down, but France is not going to make it easy for them. Machamp getting the KO on Birdie on that Mega Charizard. Psyduck busting out its Unite move, scaring them away from that tier 1. He is in there deep, but is able to get really good vision for his team. Does get KO'd by that Talonflame, but France able to put up an amazing defense there.
Yeah, they were. Like, the Infant Sai does give a lot of damage reduction, but it is not enough, as we do have the Water Burst Shuriken along with the Phantom Ambush. They really want Albanoa to take a trip back to Nurse Joy. Unfortunately, they said that's going to be a one-way ticket for you, you little trickster. Get out of our face. There's 14, I think, I can't even read that, 16 16 points on both of these tier 1s coming up, as well as we got a battle of the crowd control Pokemon. Oh, and there it is! Suicune gets the advantage over Psyduck. The quick freeze into the score is exactly what it needs. Nachos is in a problem here. Gets taken out by Braybo. Traffy's going to try and take it back own against Jose with the assist of the Yawn. And Traffy gets the execute, but Psyduck also pays for it. My God, Bridge, I can't keep up with all this action.
I know, it has just been such a back and forth between these two teams. This has felt like the closest game we've had so far in this set. Levels looking pretty even with Nachos once again. He is consistently hitting 14 before every single Groudon, which is pretty impressive that he's able to have that kind of management over his level lead. It looks like we're going to have quite the fight here for this bottom lane Alecki before this Groudon spawn. Nachos picking up another KO.
I mean, a KO going down and a Regieleki being taken with 20 seconds to go. We are in the final stretch coming through. EXP is going to be crucial. Two level 14s for the side of Team France. Traffy has also been gaining levels like crazy. A KO on Jose just before, but they're just going to let this walk in. And Traffy could wait 6 seconds here, Bridget, because they just want to secure it. There's the timer. Double points have been activated. The Brave Bird goes in. Traffy gets 100. Now Team France is in the lead. Team Spain has taken the ground in the first 2 games. The Brave Bird goes in on 2. Oh my God, a beautiful yawn stops Jose right in its tracks into the Endless Icebox. Phantom Ambush comes out from Nachos, hunting down the Suicune. Suicune gets taken out. Oh no, it survives on an HP and a G. The submission does manage to go into the barrage blow. And that is 3 members down for the side of Team Spain. 4 members down for the side of Team Spain. Albanoa is the only one left alive. And they do have access to that roll call from Hooper. And he's going to drop it early with this CC. Can they get the secure? There are 4 members of Team Spain here. But Jose is back in with the Brave Bird. Nachos wants to go in with the Dreaming into the Shadow Ball. And he does secure it. Holy, what craziness did we just witness?
Wow, that ultimately came down to like the battle of the speedsters. Jose trying to get a big hundo dunk for their team, but is caught out by Traffy. France does have the lead here, which they probably know from that alert they just got at that 1 minute mark. But wow, I mean, I gotta give my flowers to Qatar on that Snorlax. That felt like the momentum swing that France needed to get this end game in action. What a catch from the Lax with that big yawn, getting the Talonflame out of that end game really early. But then that did enable him to respawn with that Hoopa portal and clean up, I think, 2 or 3 members from France. But in the end, it was Nachos on that Gengar with that perfect secure. It was really, really incredible. Spain here gonna try to make another push, but France is gonna do everything they can to stop them in these last 10 seconds.
I know Mega Charizard is here. It could take the front line as we do have something come through. There, Jose is gonna try and go in with the Brave Bird. 2 members down for the side of Team France. 1 member down for the side team. Team Spain. France had 1 member down. I don't think they got the scores in, but that was probably the closest game that we've had in terms of points. But holy, Bridget, you pointed it out. Qatar with the yawn to stop Brave Bird in its tracks. Right there, they took out Jose. Traffy came in, got the Surf execute, but then Franix with the beautiful, absolutely pinpoint barrage blow. I think managing to get a Desu, Albertilo, and Albanoa in the top path there, and really make sure that Albanoa was the only one that was left alive. Had no other choice but to pop that hoop Unite move, the Rings Unbound. My God, that was just impossible to keep track of.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are demons. This is why we've seen the back and forth that we've had. I mean, look at this little graph here. I mean, you can see how much Spain was kind of securing up all throughout that game, but man, it really came down to the minutia in that Groudon fight. It really could have gone either way in that secure, but Nachos had the vision. I saw him be so patient with that Shadow Ball Dream Eater combo. It was really, really incredible stuff from both of these teams, but now we have France on the cusp of taking this set from Spain.
I mean, yeah, we are at match point right now, so again, Spain have it all to do. They have to win 2 in a row. France only have to win 1 in a row. What an incredible first set that we've got for our semi-finals here at our international event here at Unity Clash, the European Cup. My God, Bridget. Now, I wanted to talk about this before we go into draft, but we're going to go into draft anyway because these teams are just ready to play. I did want to talk really quickly just about Mega Charizard's nerfs because Solar Power was nerfed, which is Charizard's passive. We've got Tough Claws, which was nerfed, which was Mega Charizard's passive. The nerf has been incredible on this Pokemon. It's still quite a strong Pokemon, especially I guess when you see it in like solo queue or just general ranked when I'm playing it. But I'm just not feeling the effectiveness of Charizard right now, and I wonder if Spain possibly need to change it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it do well for them in that first game of the day, but it feels like France has been able to figure it out and play around it pretty well in these last couple of games. So we shall see. We are seeing finally the Suicune's band. Really respect this choice. To us, this has just been a monster to bear witness to. So glad that Spain is kind of at least forcing them off of it and making them do something different. We're gonna see what Spain wants to go for this first pick, and they're gonna clutch up that Hoopa, which has been kind of their tried and true. So it'll be interesting to see if they want to go for this Talonflame combo or not again.
It could be interesting to see what they go through. I could even see them try another speedster with that trick combination. Albanoa is such a great hooper as well. They pulled off those combinations with Jose to perfection in the previous games. We are seeing Qatar go back on it to that Snorlax. I mean, why would you change anything, Bridget? Because those yawns were hitting picture perfect. I mean, you'd have to get VAR out, just instant replay to see how incredible they are. Traffy is going with the tried and tested Greninja, still the first pick for the side of Team France. Jeroe's going to go with Trevenant. Now, I really like the Trevenant pick here because there's so much disruption that you can come out from Jeroe, but also Pain Split could be an option here for Jeroe because of the amount of damage that it's going to take as a front line, just weaken up all of those high burst damage Pokemon for someone like Jose to come in, but they're going to pick up the Mew instead. So finally we're seeing an attacker, a ranged attacker come out for the side of Spain, but we're going to see, I thought we were going to see 2 because that Inteleon was hovered over by Indesu.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we got the double attacker, but leave it to Indesu to whip out maybe another one for their squad. And there it is, that Inteleon. So we're going to have double snipes pretty much from the side of Spain. And I mean, this just leaves France open to pick up a speedster that is going to be making sure that Mew and Inteleon have a pretty hard time. I mean, the thing about Mew is that it is really good into a speedster. It has a lot of mobility of its own, and with those auto lock-on moves like E-Ball and its boosted auto attack, it can kind of make sure these speedsters have a bit of a worse time, even with its Unite move, putting up a shield for its entire team. So I actually kind of do like the double attacker pick here because Nachos can't get on both of them at the same time as long as Jose and Adezu are positioning well. So hopefully they will be able to help each other out in that back line. Spain, still a believer in this Mega Charizard. It'll be interesting to see who goes in that central area. I think finally Birdie is going to be able to get it. So now he just has to pray that Rezu is not in the jungle with him.
I mean, it's interesting here. I'm kind of going to pick that Adesu is probably going to take the first lane because they're both two-stage evolution. So you want to get Inteleon online as quickly as possible. I wanted to talk about Kranix here. Usually that top laner, that all-rounder pick has decided to go with no EXP share, no crown for the Blastoise this time round. But Bridget, it's been interesting because we have been seeing the the Hydro Pump into the Rapid Spin combination that has become popularized by this. And I think you and I were both wrong because that looks like a Mew central lane. These players want to keep us on our toes.
God dang it. I mean, I should have known better. Obviously, the Mew is jungling. I mean, it is going to catch France off guard for sure. It caught me off guard. Not only do we have the Mew in the
No.
jungle, but we have Hoopa, and it's still not enough for Rezu, who is, I think, 2 for 2 on buffs, as Sableye is also going to be helping get that KO on that poor little Charmander. And that is the kind of power that a good Sableye has for their team. I mean, France already off on to an amazing start. We're not even a minute in.
I mean, this is game number 5. Let the chaos reign. Sableye is going to stun out the Sobble! And well, I almost thought I saw all 5 members of Team France in that basement lane. Bridget, but Squirtle is going to stay in that top part and just be like, I got this, guys. My shell is hard. My water's wet. Ain't nobody getting past me. And Mew is just there. They accepted their fate, did a little dance, showed a little love, but now they're just gonna go back to Nurse Joy. And what is going on with Rezu right now, Bridget? Because this is an MVP Sableye.
I think he's been involved with every single KO so far in this game, picking up 2 of his own, but if not getting the KO, getting the assist. He has been all over this map. I mean, truly, we've seen him in every single engage. It is just scary to see, if nothing else. And here we have Jose trying to get their jungle away from the Snorlax, who has a red buff. So obviously Qatar having a pretty good time in this enemy jungle. I was going to say, it does look like he will get KO'd. Hoopa not going to allow this for much longer. Does get the KO with that portal. Thank goodness.
I mean, I think Hooper, Albanoa getting that KO is probably exactly what Qatar wanted, because you're not giving that KO again over to the Charmeleon, who can use that to get levels. But now Team France is going to turn their attention to Regidrago. Jeroe is here with the eject into the Hornet. Talonflame takes to the skies and crashes down hard. And that was a personal KO on Rezu from Birdie Low, who just did not want to deal with that little gremlin. 11 points to 108. France off to a meteoric supersonic start in this one as we're heading into the 720. But Charizard is online. Birdie wants to show us that this Mega Charizard is the right choice.
Yeah, Spain putting all their resources into this bottom path, but it's actually France able to get a KO. Not only 1, but 2. Traffy showing us why this Greninja is a priority pick for them. I mean, it is doing its job so far in this matchup, getting all of those KOs, and is now ripping this Regieleki. Rezu is going to defend this for their team, making sure that Spain doesn't even get close. France getting that Alecki in the bot path. It also looks like we have our Blastoise up top getting the top objective.
I mean, a Flame Sweep into the Water Burst. Shuriken the Surf tried to get the secure the execute on to Birdie, but there it finally goes through as a Traffy picks up a nice KO streak of 2 with the assistance of Rezu. Kranich is going to get the Registeel in the top path. Rezu is dangerously low on health, but Traffy has found Mew in the hidden grass. Professor Oak told you, don't go into the hidden grass. There's wild Pokemon in there, and Traffy is heeding that warning right now. 48 to 150. A beautiful snipe shot finally from Ades, who picks up a KO, but Rezu is just insane.
An actual demon. I mean, the positioning out of France in this little scuffle in this bottom path was so mean to the side of Spain. I mean, just constantly bobbing and weaving and dodging those moves from Spain. Blastoise able to get the KO on Adesu, does its Unite move, able to hit so many members from the side of Spain. 2 KO streak for Kranix, and he is hydro pumping, spinning all over that Trevenant, getting another KO, as well as Talonflame getting 1 for themselves.
I mean, and now they're just going to go window shopping into the enemy team's central area. There's almost 104 points between these two right now. 2 level 11s. We haven't seen Kranix at all because all of that attention has been on that basement lane. But Kranix has just been doing what Blastoise has been doing. Big man Blastoise out here doing the Lord's work. A 40 is about to go in to that top side as well, extending Team France's lead. Again, this is just a game I can call pure and utter chaos, and those who thrive in chaos thrive for success here, Bridget. And Team France are just bringing the chaos to Thea Sky Rules.
Absolutely. I mean, this Talonflame Greninja core has been really, really something for France. I guess it's mostly been a speedster Greninja core that they've been sticking to all throughout this set. Traffy gonna do what Greninja does best and rip down the objective in that bot path, getting the Regieleki for France, as we have a Regirock spotting in this top path. Cranix trying to spin all over that team, and it works. Mew getting knocked out. Inteleon getting knocked out. We are going to see the Hoopa Unite move for Spain, but it is not quite enough. France with another dominant team fight in this top half.
Oh my god, Rezu got the KO on Birdie Blow in the base lane. There was a stable KO on Mega Charizard in the base lane.
Holy, Rezu has just it redefined how a Sableye should play. The coordination with the team. I would love to be a fly on the wall of that VC to see what they're talking about. Flame Swoop's going to go in as well to pick up a KO on the Mew. Hydro Typhoon gets used by a Krennic. Sableye picks up another KO on the Charizard. This time it wasn't Mega. Rezu went, oh my days. Maybe Sableye's Mega should have been the one that was brought to Pokemon Unite, and he's making a good case for it this time. The Fly comes down crashing on it to Jeroe, who gets caught by the Yawn and the Hydro Spin. Brant is schmoovin' and grooving right now, Bridget, but 3 minutes 20, if they risk some KOs here right now, they're going to give a lot of experience back to Team Spain.
Yeah, it is a risky play to be this far in, but France seems to be all about the risk at this point. They want this final Drago, and they want the KOs as well. I mean, it just looks like France is like 20 levels above the way they're just picking up KOs on the side of Spain. I mean, they're still in pretty far. We have less than a minute until this Groudon, but really the goal here is to get all of this XP from the side of Spain, making sure that they do not have any way to come back. They want to keep this level lead the place it's at.
I mean, now we're into the final stretch. 34 seconds until Groudon spawns. Team France have a commanding lead, a very similar lead that they had in game number 2, Bridget, where they really they pushed and pulled Spain all over the map and just confused them to all high heaven. That Regieleki is gonna march on to core, which is exactly what they want to do. But where did that flame sweep come on from? Albanoa gets taken down. A KO timer of 8 seconds. They're gonna be back. The Unite moves are crawling. Birdilo has to pull the Charizard Unite. Talonflame gets taken down. A KO streak of 2 coming out for the Mega Charizard, but Traffy gets one back of their own with the Greninja secure. I don't know where the Regieleki is. It's being hidden by the Inteleon's icon, as we're going to reset going into Groudon. Nope, we're not going to reset. Albanoa says it's time for the fight. Everybody get your butts in here. Inteleon's going to try and go for the secure. Kranix is trying to make sure that the snipe shots cannot hit. The Hydro Typhoon comes out. The Solar Beam versus the snipe shot. And it is Spain that secures a Groudon for the 4th time again. I think 4th time, might be a 3rd time. But, oh my god. What just happened, Bridget?
A Dezu with the secure. I mean, that is why you pick Inteleon. He has such range, but Spain is in desperate need of some dunks. Birdie should get this KO, yes, on Kranix. Should be able to get this Hundo Burger in this top lane, but it's not going to be enough. They now know that they're behind by more than 100 points. It does seem like Spain has quite a few shields left, but France has this very scary bursted comp, and they still have quite a lot of levels. It looks like France is going to try to play this as safely as possible. Trevenant goes in on the Snorlax, and here we have the Mega Evolution coming out from Charizard. They want this game to so bad. They got the Groudon, who I lovingly call Donna sometimes. They got her off of this map, and Mew is going to be able to get a dunk in. Spain now has this lead.
I mean, once again, France does an absolute brilliant job throughout the entire game. Adesu carrying Spain to the finish line with a beautiful Inteleon secure. They are now 500 points to the good with 7 seconds counting down. Spain has forced the tiebreaker. We are going to a game number 5. Holy.
Of course we are.
Of course.
Honestly, the way these two teams have been playing, I am not surprised at all. Both of them are so deserving to go into this finals game. Spain, after a really good game one, was way on the back foot after 2 losses, but bounced back in a big way. I feel like Birdie really showed us what that Mega
Yep.
Charizard was capable of. It felt so clutch in that endgame push, especially, but too bad for Nachos and Kranex getting huge KOs for their team, huge damage from the side of Nachos, but Spain able to clutch up that point lead.
I mean, Rezu says it all right there with the 31k damage coming out from that Sableye. It was
Bro.
absolute nuisance throughout that entire game. And again, this game went completely to the side of France. If you have a look at this graph, they were in complete control up until that 9-minute mark, and then Albanoa pulling the Hooper Unite move and just said, nah, we're going for it. Taking that initiative to bring everyone through, even though the KO timers might have been there, just pulling everyone through, calling roll, making sure everyone's in that Groudon pit so that they had a chance. If you don't turn up to Groudon, Bridget, you're gonna lose anyway. We might as well be there and try and take it. And when you have someone like a Desu on your team with the Inteleon snipe shot coming out, I mean, we saw the beam come from one side, we saw the snipe shot come from the other. I was like, no, they're on the same team. What's going on here? It's just again, beams from off the screen like a Dragon Ball Z battle. A beam struggle right there, but it was always going to go to the side of Team Spain. France doing a really good job controlling the game for 9 minutes almost until Groudon becomes a thing. And then once the central focus goes on to Groudon, it seems that's like Team Spain's specialty is securing that Groudon against all odds.
Absolutely. Yeah, that graph was really interesting because you could see that France secured every objective except the Groudon, and then Spain was able to come in clutch. But we've also seen the graph where the team who gets the Groudon doesn't secure the game. So that is the beauty of the Groudon, of the Donna. I love her. So it just really keeps the game interesting until the very last second. So here we go. Game number 5 for all the marbles. Whoever wins this will be heading into the finals for tomorrow.
I have to ask you, is the Donna a Suits reference?
No, I just
No,
like
damn, I was so
like we
close.
can't call her Dawn because that's like Duraludon. So Donna just feels more appropriate.
One of my friends here in Australia who also plays Unite, I had to give them complete credit for this, but then they said, let's get rowdy with Groudy. And I was like, that's incredible. That's incredible. I take absolutely no credit for that. That was from one of my friends here in Australia. Give her all the credit for that saying. But this is unbelievable, Bridget. Spain is banning the Sableye. And the Hooper is going to be banned as well, which means I believe we're getting Blissey. We have Blaziken on the field as well. And we have Suicune coming out, and Albano is going to pick up the Blissey straight away.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense if you gotta get off that Hoopa. That has been Spain's sauce this entire set. Might as well go for Blissey, who is finally out of ban jail. This Pokemon is demonic, and wow, France finally convinced Traffy to not first pick Greninja, which, thank God. He's been doing great on it, but maybe we just pick it a little later. Spain could pick it up, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Instead, we are going to see the Blastoise and the Blaziken finally coming through for France. Suicune back in action. I mean, Suicune Blissey is an illegal combination of Pokemon.
I agree with you 100%, but something that we didn't notice in the ban bridges that I failed to mention was that Snorlax also taking place in the ban jail, which means Qatar is not going to get access to that Snorlax, but instead going to pick up a Pokemon that shined at Worlds and became a fan favorite. I want to say almost overnight, but Crustle has always felt like a very underrated banned Pokemon to me. The Rock Tombs can do absolutely incredible work right now. They're trapping everybody in. Traffy's going to pick up the Elder Goss. This is going to be interesting here because Kranex was on the Blastoise before. Rezu, I mean, it's a very interesting switch up coming out from both of these teams. Jose's going to pick up the Zeraora. Now, Zeraora is a Pokemon that's very interesting. I always see it come out in clutch situations. When a team really needs a win on the board, that's when I feel a Zeraora decides to hit the field, and Nacho's going to go back to that Gengar.
Yeah, Nachos we saw put on such a performance with that Gengar in a previous game, but now he's going to be running into a Blissey, which is kind of the natural counter to everything Gengar is trying to do, especially if Albert plays that Safeguard move, which there really isn't a lot of poke damage. This set has been completely free of long-range mons aside from that previous game from Spain, which did work out in their favor, but it was a rough road for them until that final fight. So I am also a big Crustle fan. I think it is phenomenal, but its strength really is into long-range attackers, which this set has not seen a lot of. I'm sure Qatar is going to smurf on it. Those walls are very devastating, kind of regardless, but its specialty is being able to trap in those long-range attackers. So we shall see how this plays out. I'm really interested to see which moveset Albert is going to go on this Blissey, because to me, this was looking like a Safeguard game. I do not want Nachos to be able to play the game at all, if possible, if I'm them, because he has been a threat on every speedster. He's scary.
Tell him how you really feel.
Out of respect and love and admiration.
I didn't know we were allowed to look at a player on one of these teams and be like, I don't want that person to play the game. That's it.
Strategically, and from an analytical perspective, my dude is going crazy.
I mean, I absolutely love it. We do see Nachos is going to take that central lane. We do not have a Mega Charizard this time around, which I'm a little excited for as well. I want to see something else come through. Squad is going to try and push the Buzzwole back. Eldegoss is a very nice sight to see, especially considering it's got a red buff here, Bridget, which also not only gives slow, but the boost is also going to be great, even in the early games, as we got an all-rounder battle headed into that top path. But as we remember, in the Rapid Spin Water Spout days of Blastoise being that top laner, Buzzwole was one of the only counters that could pick it up out of Rapid Spin and slam it back down. So it's going to be a very interesting battle between these two top lanes, as we do have Kranix has got a beautiful reposition on the Blaze Kick, but Jose is here on the Zeraora. Until it gets that discharge moveset, which I think it's going to play, it has to be very careful. And what a Blaze Kick that was.
Yeah, amazing pull from the side of Kranix in this 3v3 in that bot path. No KOs coming out from that 845 Altaria matchup, but in the top path for France, we have what I like to think is the EU special of Eldegoss and top lane Blastoise. EU loves both of these guys in these spots, and you can see why here they are bullying Birdie on that Buzzwole, who is an amazing pick. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen him come out sooner, but Spain obviously has been loving that Mega Charizard now that he is freed from the ban jail. Albert gonna try to look for some XP to get that Blissey evolution they so desperately need, as it looks like France has been able to secure up so much farm in the top lane.
I mean, 0-0 donut stores between both of these two teams. You're right, Bridget. The EU special Buzzwole, Eldegoss, and Blastoise are such common picks, because I think they're just so proficient at any single point of the game, early game, mid game, even late game. Adesio has gone back on to that Mystical Fire Sylveon, so it's going to be very careful. So able to put that damage on. No, the overheat was just out of range, and Albinor was able to skewer that Regidrago. Unfortunately, no eject up for, I believe, was it Kranix on that Blaziken Rezu on the Blastoise. Man, they're switching up these positions so much, but the stun coming out from the Suicune. The Rock Tomb does a brilliant job of separating Spain from France as they tried to collapse on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spain has that in the bag, if not for that huge wall from Qatar. It also looks like, yeah, we have Traffy on the Eldegoss, which love. Huge respect for that, as we have Blastoise and Buzzwole brawling it out 1v1 style in this top lane. But the Regieleki is going to show itself on the bottom side, and we actually have a Leaf Tornado Eldegoss, who does fall to the Zeraora, but it looks like almost I mean, not almost. It is a damage goss from France.
I mean, I'm not even surprised at this point. If that's Traffy on an Elder God, the Elder God is coming out to play. The Elder God rises once again. All hail the Heavenly Flower. But we are going through, because we've got 30 points on the side for Team France. Objectives have spawned at the 7-minute mark. It seems like Team France want that extra bit of help, but the Suicune Whirlpool almost securing that away. Can Nachos get a secure on that? They do go in with the Dream Eater, but decide, because the Blissey is there, Albanoa is there, Nachos is going to be almost completely taken out of this game and can't do much here. Just has to let these scores go in and let that tier 1 get broken.
Yeah, and we do see Blissey rocking that Safeguard Helping Hand moveset. Super devastating to Nachos, especially on the side of France. Spain whipping out almost all of their Unite moves, picking up so many KOs. Nachos coming in for the cleanup on the Zera Aura. Once more, isn't done with him just yet, but Blissey, I'm saying, natural counter gets the KO on that Gengar.
That's crazy. I mean, we saw the Safeguard come on to stop, to save the Buzzwole there, but Nachos changed directions to try and take down Suicune. Managed to get the KO on Jose, but Albanoa has a task on their hands to really stop, and they kind of have to predict what Nachos is going to go for. Who are they going to target? Because there's 3 main targets. That Buzzwole, that Zera Aura, and that Suicune have to be the main targets of Nachos. There's no point in going after the Suicune. There's no real point in going after anything else because no, not the Suicune, the Sylveon, because the Draining Kiss just keeps it healed up, and it's going to be very hard for Nachos to one-shot it here, Bridget. But we've just crossed the 1-minute mark, and we've got a 2-point lead. Nachos gets picked up. The Eldegoss takes to the sky with Cotton Cloud Crash, unable to save Nachos that time round. Kranix has to run away. The eject popped out by a Carousel, and now Team Spain want to push onto this pad, but the defense coming out from the Hydro Spin and the Rock Tomb is going to be hard to penetrate, Bridget.
Yeah, France doing an amazing job keeping Spain at bay. We have a Gengar Unite move coming in, scaring Spain off, getting the KO on that Zera Aura. Suicune falls to Qatar on that Crustle. Adezu caught way in this back line, isn't able to survive. Kranix with the KO this time. It looks like Buzzwole is gonna make an attempt with that Blissey Unite move. Oh, it's on 1 HP, but Blaziken able to secure the Regieleki for France and get these KOs.
I mean, we don't call Blaziken the god of secure for nothing. if there's anyone that you have to put money on to secure, it's gonna be a Blaziken. Unless you're Albanoa, who's gonna go, hold my Blissey Egg, I'm gonna secure ahead of you, as we've already witnessed. France has taken a little bit of a lead with 42 points on the board. A Regirock is next up. That's 2 Regirocks in a row, Bridget. This is kind of crazy. We get 2 Registeels, 2 Regirocks, 2 Regiices. These Regis like to come in pairs, but we've got a fight coming up as Adesu's going to go right on in. They've used that Fairy Frolic already. Nachos is going to secure the Regirock. That's a nice defense buff for Rezu on the Blaster. Is going to pop that Hydro Typhoon into the attack to try and create some space. Plasma Fizz, Plasma Gale came out from Jose. Cotton Cloud Crash is going to heal all of Team France all the way back up. There is brawling going on from every side. Albanoa picks up a KO on the God of Secure. That's his resume upgraded to say, I can secure better than you. But back now, we're heading into the final stretch. 3 points between these two teams. Spain with a very slight lead.
I know it. Even the levels are even at this point. I know I was saying last game was the closest game, but I think this one is taking the cake. I mean, we could not be going into this Groudon fight any closer, but Spain getting this big advantage with their Zera Aura level 14. I mean, Nachos has some time to probably tick into that level 13 prior to this. Spain is actually poking and prodding at this tier 1. Both teams were able to knock out one of the tier 1 goal zones on opposite sides. So Spain just trying to put on some pressure there. France was maybe thinking about doing the same, but it is now time to position for this final fight of the set. Adesu actually getting kind of caught out in this 1v3.
I mean, Vonbury 3 at Desu is being chased by the side of Team France, who really kind of gave up the position with their beautiful Rock Tomb to really isolate the Suicune here, where we do have a retreat for Nachos, who had a low amount of health, and now Team Spain has gotten the advantage inside of that ground pit, and they're going to push this advantage. Discharge with a beautiful pull, managing to take down the Crosshair, and Spain draw first blood here, Bridget, with that incredible KO. Blastoise is going to go in with the Hydro Spin. There's the Hydro Typhoon as well. Endless Ice Spike. Bliss Sisters. Plasma Gale. Ultimate Swell Slam. All the Unite moves are dropping. And France is dropping like flies. That had to have been a team wipe. But Jeroe is up for the side of France. And Spain are going to secure Groudon. And who else but Blissey was going to secure that beautiful objective?
Oh my god, Jose, you demon on that Zera aura. I mean, it is Spain all day right now. What a opener into that Groudon fight to get the Crustle out of commission, but France is not done yet. They are making a hard push toward this tier 1, which is pretty horrifying that this gold zone is still up. This is so difficult to defend. It looks like they are giving it away. Spain still has the lead here, but they are going to need to put everything they have into this gold zone defense.
I'm wondering if they have the pockets to actually fill this up. Gengar is going to pop their Unite into the Hydro Typhoon. Now Nachos has a buff, and they're going to use it here, Bridget. There is no way they're going to get the turnaround on this. There are 3 members down for the side of Spain, and the points are going to go Radiant, but they don't have the pocket. 16 seconds. They need 125 points plus to secure this. They get the 32, the 12 went in as well. They need a few more, but the 52 went in. I think France have clutched it, even though they lost the ground up, but the 94 has to secure it for the side of France. We need to see that score. What an ending.
I thought Adezu was gonna make it in the clear. They were able to sneak in a goal zone or dunk in that lane push, but France coming out with a huge comeback after that Groudon fight. I mean, what a push, what coordination. I mean, it was probably kind of clutch that Qatar still had their Unite move. Rezu was able to Blastoise Unite move on that tier 2 as well. I mean, these teams are crazy. Europe is on another level so far this year. That was insane.
I'm actually almost speechless. Oh my god. Again, this is not Rayquaza, ladies and gentlemen. Groudon gives you a chance. Once Nachos had that Groudon buff that they managed to secure, I think away from Jeroe, that was game over because Nachos had hit level 14. They were going to go in. Rezu knocked everybody up with the Hydro Typhoon, and it was just game. But this was what a way to end that first game here, Bridget, for the semifinals.
Oh my gosh.
We went the distance with 5 intense games. We saw Sableye, Mega Charizard. We saw the speedster combinations coming out. We saw a brilliant pull. We saw so many highlights in this game for game number 5, but the pull from Jose onto Qatar to start off that Groudon fight was absolutely insane. That gave them the advantage. That gave them the ability to pull. It was almost a clear team wipe from the side of Spain. They took the Groudon. I don't know why didn't they go and score? They knew they were in the lead,
know.
But they gave it all back. Nachos had their Unite move. Rezu had their Unite move. Oh,
I just have to say, No Pump, who is a French streamer, was casting or like covering the games today as well, and I was like, I gotta see what Pump's reaction to this is, and he is like, has the party screen on, he is dancing, he is going so hard for his country of France. I was cackling watching him celebrate. He streams in French, so I never know what he's saying, but it's a good time. This crosses language barriers. He is so hype for the French squad, but man, it is a devastating one for our Spain friends, but they should be so proud. What a 5-game set. I can't believe we took it all the way to game 5 too. That is a pretty rare instance, so very, very proud of everyone from the Spanish squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, let's go back through it again. Jose, Bertilo, Adesu, Albanoa, and Jero Wee. Absolutely outstanding. I do get to see these players play twice a week over at the Engages UFC, and they have just stepped up their game every single week, playing twice a week in high stress situations, also best of fives as well. Training in best of fives has got to give you that mental edge at a competitive level, right? Because it's that intense. Yes, they're playing the almost the same picks, the same Pokemon. They have to adapt, but just having yourself the almost finger on the pulse kind of thing at every point has just got to be the greatest, I want to say, mental achievement coming out from these players. But again, Team France, Nachos, Kranix, Rezu, Qatar, Traffy take a bow. They are going to go into the finals. And I've just been given this word from our production. France is back in the grand finals to claim their throne that they lost after 2023. 2024, they weren't able to do it. 2025, they are going into grand finals. We're going to have just before we take a break, we're going to have the bracket come up as well, so we can show you guys, because we have one more set of 5 to show you guys before we end off. And holy Bridget, I'm already tired.
I know. I'm like, oh, it's only 2 sets. This won't take super long. But of course, we already did 5 games already. So next up, we will have Germany versus Switzerland, which is sure to be an incredible set. Once again, Germany obviously has some phenomenal players, such as Gatlu, whose channel we're casting on. So shout out Gatlu. But Switzerland also puts in so much work. I know of Snow is probably the most prominent player I know from that Switzerland squad. They were able to best Sweden in a 2-1 victory last weekend. So excited to see these teams go head to head up next.
Yeah, look, we're going to go through the entire player profiles of these teams when we get back after break. But I know that definitely after casting that one, Bridget and I definitely need to take a short water break and a little break to get our voices underway. You guys probably need to get a break because, whoo, I'm sweating after watching all of that heat go on the screen. But guys, don't go anywhere. Grab yourselves a drink, grab yourselves a snack, and I promise you, we will be right back. See you very, very soon. Very, very soon. Oh, bro, I'm ready to sleep after that. Jesus, you're on production. You're on production. Many things. Oh. Oh fuck! I forgot to get water.
Hope that could have been utilized. Dragon Veil's now back up into the fight, and they're going to have the hoops unbound, trying to force out the fight. Another Night Slash getting damage on Umbreon, but that's not the turkey you want. You want Blaziken. Blaziken still alive, finally finding him with a knockout. Switzerland out of nowhere. Night Slash again, ripping apart Germany. That Luke chasing him away. Now they get the surf onto Redshine. Low health bars on their side. It's going to be the Revenant End to secure it. Diving into the back line yet again. This Arul is still alive. Trying to knock him out. Finally are able to take him out. The tree is too late to help anyone else. Snow-Oh, maybe it's going to clean this up. Razor Leaf thrown out. Same with the Phantom Force. The damage in from Switzerland. Emerald 2 Sept gets a lot of damage, but that Thunderstorm does way more. And then the trample into the back line, making sure they rip him up hard. That Leafeon did nothing. It knocks out as Machamp, the last one. Trying to convert his huge barrage. What a punch there from Yotao. Almost taking them all down. 1v4. The monster, the man, the myth, the legend. He knocks them all out. And for who else remains, the forest is gone, chopped down. But look at the Night Slash! No Snow! Just cleaning up the fight and allowing Switzerland to win. Have that last Reggie is going to be big. The flank onto the other side, on into Dragon Veil. The tree has been chopped down. Revenant Rend on to 99. Almost taking out 89. That's going to be the Phantom Force doing the job for them. Fight will commence. Dragon Veil is going to be the target that they jump on with the Horn Leech getting a lot of damage. And here's the Phantom Force. That's a burst of damage. Even with the knockgun, everyone's gone. Switzerland find a beautiful fight. Only having to roll it on the other side. No Revenant Rend. Now finally back up. You gotta go for the hero play. Gotta find something. Revenant Rend almost takes him down, but falls. And down to 50%. Someone's got to get it. There goes Pikachu. Sword Dog goes in, but he's out as well. Only one remains. It's Eldegoss trying to save the day, but Switzerland have won Rayquaza. Switzerland, they upset France earlier today, and here, best of 5. They had everything going for them. No longer are they the penultimate team. No longer are they the bridesmaid. Today is their crowning achievement. They will be your Unity European 2024 champions.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Unity European Cup. My name is Lobo. I am joined by the ever so lovely Bridget. I am from Australia, which is also known as OC. Bridget is from NA, and we are bringing you European action. Unite is definitely a worldwide event. I promise you, I could listen to Magical speaking all the live long day. His voice is just as smooth as silky butter, isn't it, Bridget?
It is Chef's Kiss. I love the trailer. Honestly, the anime music makes me laugh every time. I love it. But we are going to be getting into our second semifinals match of the game, which is one with quite a bit of history. It is Switzerland versus Germany. Are you excited, Lobo?
Oh, I am so excited. I was just looking at the Liquipedia page for this event as well as Shivam has given us a bunch of information on these teams. Now, this is a salty run back, Bridget. Germany versus Switzerland. Germany has been getting knocked out for the past 3 years by Switzerland. In 2022, they got 3-0'd in the semifinals. In 2023, in the lower bracket finals, they got 2-0'd. And in the 2024 grand finals, Switzerland were able to take it all 3-1, which means Switzerland are our defending champion. And Germany finally want to try and get the win over Switzerland and put themselves in the grand finals. And with the players that we've got on both of these teams, Bridget, we just watched the game, a full set of 5. I'm already exhausted. I don't know how we're going to go, but based on the players on these teams, we're definitely going to go to a full, I think, I'm going to call it now, that we're going to go to another full game of 5. Production, if you could please take us to those team profiles. We are going to show you Team Switzerland and Team Germany and show you these incredible players that are going to be fighting it out in game number 2 of our semifinals. Switzerland, Bridget, do you want to tell us who's on Team Switzerland?
Yes, we have Volto, Skull, Dragon. I don't know how to read those characters. Maybe it's Snow, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. And hopefully they change their name in custom mode so I can read it. But Switzerland are our reigning champs. They are the kings of Europe right now. So we are looking to see if they can hold their title this year. They're so close. They just have Germany standing in their way today, and then they will have France waiting for them tomorrow if they are able to make it through.
Look, it's going to be interesting. Volto, Skull, TT Bone, and Dragonvale, players that I know quite well. Those are very, very strong players. And again, I'm actually really excited to see this. We are getting confirmation that that is Snow with the characters that we could not pronounce. Don't worry, Bridget, I'm in the same boat. I cannot pronounce those either, but we are confirming that that is Snow. The combination of Snow and Volto is also really, really fun to watch. I personally have not had too much of a chance to have a look at Yuno or Dragonval, but I really want to see how they pop off in and how Team Switzerland's unison and team communication, team synergy really pop off. They are defending champs for a reason, and the team that is going to try and dethrone them. And finally, I think after four years, this is the 4th year that Germany is going to try and take the crown. Let's have a look at who Team Germany has sent to take down Team Switzerland. And that first name, Bridget, that's got to be known to all of us.
We are streaming on Gatlu's channel. I would hope the people here may know who he is, formerly of Noun's Legacy, but paving his own way this year on a different UCS squad. But
Mm.
today he's representing his home country of Germany. Gatlu, our greedent guy, of the game, is repping. We also have Toast, Dodo, Daddy Leon, and Aaron, all formidable players in their own right. UCS legends for the EU region. So they put up quite a show last week versus Greece.
Mhm.
Really was a dominant performance from Germany. So gonna be fun to see how they match up against their arch nemesis of Switzerland.
It's so funny to actually see this come to fruition right now, Bridget, because it
Mhm.
is the salty run back. I keep calling it salty run back. There's got to be some salty feelings coming through. We know Gatlu is a jack of all trades. He loves to play a whole bunch of different Pokemon, especially that Greedent that we would love to see. Snow and Toast as well. Snow loves that Serena. They love their all rounders as well. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring it to the table is Team Germany. Now, Daddy Leon, we have seen as well a formidable player, but that Aaron is a little bit of an unknown for me specifically. I haven't had a chance to see them too much over in the EU region from what we've been doing over there with your boy Tano. But again, I'm so excited. Germany, I mean, it's going to be interesting if Switzerland can bring this back 4 years in a row if they're able to knock out Team Germany and also to do it on Catlu's channel. Oh, that's bragging rights for a long time, Bridget.
That is an extra level of evil, but we are unbiased, even though we are on one of these players' Twitch channels specifically. But here we go, a fresh new set on a brand new balance patch, which we saw made honestly quite a huge impact on the draft phase during our previous semifinals match. So right off the bat, we are going to see no Blissey and no Mega Charizard from these two squads.
I'm kind of excited because we did see a lot of Mega Charizard in set
Quite a
number one.
bit.
We also saw a lot of Suicune. We saw a lot of Hooper as well. So those, we're going to get a completely new set of 5, which I'm really excited to see. And that's just so interesting. Different teams, even though they're all in the same region, different countries probably favoring different Pokemon. Now, the Buzzwole ban, I know because Volto is nuts on that Buzzwole. So, and maybe they just don't want it to have it, or they want to take it. Oh, they're letting them have the Darkrai, Bridget. The Darkrai.
Yeah, totally absent in our last set. So really cool to see it be prioritized by Switzerland. Darkrai is such an interesting flex pick. You can play it as a damage dealer, which looks like how Snow has it right now, but you can also put an EXP share on it and flex it in that support hindrance role. Germany gonna be celebrating the EVs in full force by picking up Umbreon and Leafeon.
I just can't be happy with this. I can't.
Those are your guys.
Every time I see Leafeon on my screen, I just want to I want to look the other way. I'm gonna think it's gonna be interesting to see because Razor Leaf was that primary move set, but Solar Blade is such a good secure tool coming out from Leafeon. We know Leafeon is so good at burst damage, and I've been very critical of Leafeons because they get that level 4. They're usually in that central lane. I do want to see them take that one buff and head on into the enemy team's central lane to really hinder them coming through and see how they are going to progress that way. Leafeon is so good early game, and if it is allowed to get to level 13 and 14 in the late game, it's a real problem to deal with. So it has to make use of that early to mid game here, Bridget. The rest of the drafts are not too bad here. Aaron's going to go into that attacker role with the Mew. Dodo's going to pick up Snorlax. Skull's going to go with the Sylveon, channeling a little bit of a Desu. And the first time, we're going to see a Ho-Oh. Can they rekindle those flames, bring everybody back? So Switzerland has a do-it reset button.
Yeah, I think it will pair actually really well with that Blastoise because Ho-Oh has such a hard time being a tank because the The theory of Ho-Oh is you need to be KO'd last so you can revive your teammates with your Unite move, which can be antithetical to what a tank usually does, which does go down first. So I think comboing it with that Blastoise is a good call. Obviously, more of a brawly Blastoise in that top path, but excited to see this Serena come out from the side of Germany. Serena's always kind of in a weird-ish spot. It feels like it is a pocket pick for a lot of players, but how it performs can either be hit or miss. So excited to see what Toast is able to bring with her today.
I mean, you try telling that to Toast. Any chance they get to play Serena, the queen will take the stage. Germany wants to put the crown on their head and hopefully gonna use Serena to do it. Gatlu has switched over to the Leafeon, Dodo, Snorlax. Nils on that Umbreon. I'm curious here, Bridget, if we're actually going to see a mean look Umbreon to really stop Darkrai going all around. We got Volta on the all-rounder Blastoise. Probably going to see that rapid spin Hydro combination. And again, we saw Mystical Fire come out from Adesu previously. I wonder if Skull is going to go with the same approach. I wouldn't mind seeing a Screamion come to play because that is a bulky front line of Umbreon, Serena, and Snorlax sitting in front of Aaron on that Mew.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what this Sylveon moveset is for us today. But here we go. Brand new set. Our last best of 5 of the day. Switzerland versus Germany.
Germany's going to be on your orange side. Switzerland on your purple side. We saw a lot of invades in the previous set. Nothing with the size of Ho-Oh. Usually you have to be a little bit more stealthy to invade an enemy team's central lane. They're not going to let Gatlu have his own way on his own channel, but there's going to be the secure, there we go, Toast managing to secure at least 4. No stacks in just yet, but 11 going to the, actually 16 going to the side of Germany in the basement lane. Ho is going to try and stop this Leafeon from getting online, but Gatlu knows a thing or two about being a central laner, does he not, Bridget?
Oh, he definitely does. Able to get both of his buffs, does not let the Ho-Oh have any fun in that jungle. Dragon was able to slow Gatlu down quite a bit. Usually Leafeon is in and out of there so fast, but did not have that luxury today in this game, as we have 4 members from Switzerland up in this top path and 4 from Germany as well, fighting over these Altarias. Huge damage coming out from Switzerland, forcing Germany to back it up, but not quite letting anyone fall, which is huge, not giving up any of those KOs just yet in this early game.
Snow was pretty close. They managed to get that Dark Void onto 2 members of Team Germany in that top side, but unable to hit them with any basics or boostage, which causes those dark little tendrils to come down and do the extra damage for Darkrai. We are seeing the Mystical Fire coming out from Skull in this basement lane. A lot more controlled in this set than the previous one, and Bridget, a lot less chaos for us to deal with this time around.
Yeah, people are kind of like staying in their lanes. The more normal rotation of like 4 in 1 path, you know, a bit more calm before the storm. This time around, as Germany does get a KO on Switzerland, they have 4 members in that bot path trying to make something happen. Even gonna break this tier 1 pretty early on in this matchup. Kind of a rare choice to see as Snow tries to get some KOs, is able to get one on that on Gatlu, but is stopped by that very, very mean look from Nils on the Espeon.
I mean, mean look was a great option there. Darkrai does like to bounce around with that Dark Pulse. I believe that is the name of the move. I need to double check that, but it gives you.
I believe you.
Yeah, it gives you 2. It gives you 2 dashes, and then again it builds up your counter, which again lets you use more of those tendrils. But Blastoise is online in this top path. The block from Snorlax is going to come out. The Dark Void is not going to hit, but the mean look is going to stop them. But it's not going to stop the Blastoise coming through. Umbreon gets caught, gets put to sleep. The nightmares are being thrown down, and Snow is making Germany feel those 3 years of disappointment that they have endured so far.
Yeah, I mean, Snow is so online with this Darkrai. We do see Gatlu matching him in level on that Leafeon, but Gatlu getting his KOs on the bottom side is able to clutch up that Regidrago for his team, giving him that little score, speed buff, as well as some XP for the rest of the squad. We are seeing some Unite moves come online. Gatlu used his somewhere. I'm assuming it was in that 2KO in the bot path, but everyone else, all the normal guys, are getting them at level 9, as we see Switzerland going for this Regirock, whereas Germany was able to secure that Aleki in the bot path.
I mean, we have seen Switzerland win a few majority of these fights, but taking out a supporter is very important. Gatlu has 40. There's another Emerald 2-step. That Leafeon gets that Unite move back way too quickly. Blastoise still has access to that Hydro Typhoon. Also, the worst Nightmare can be used by Snow on that Darkrai. Unfortunately, Umbreon is just too tanky. It has too much hindrance resistance coming out for it. But again, Germany is scoring early and scoring often here, Bridget, whereas Switzerland are coming out, I want to say, better in these fights coming out. It's still fairly even. The levels are looking all right. 3 level 9s for Switzerland heading in to the halfway point.
Yeah, Gatlu, I feel like, is that standout player on the side of Germany. Level 11, that's 2 levels up. Okay, Sylveon got 10. Still a massive level lead for Gatlu specifically, who has been offlaning in that bottom path and getting massive dunks in for his team, which is kind of where this lead is coming from, as we have the tank off going up on in this top path. Gatlu making an appearance with that X attack going off, isn't able to get any damage off while it's on, but Umbreon falling to Snow on that Darkrai. Switzerland may be able to make a push here for some points, but the Leafeon Unite move makes it a little tougher. Snow picking up the KO on Mew.
I mean, the Queenly Ascendant does reign. Snow says, kneel before the Queen, before she heads right back on to that pad. I don't know if the worst Nightmare was used. I think it was by Darkrai, because we have a distinct lack of Unite moves on the side of Team Switzerland, who still have not broken any pads just yet. The Razor Leaf coming out from Leafeon is just going to tickle that Sylveon here, Bridget. Those buffs were crazy. They could throw out with the Fairy Frolic, because you can hit all 5 of them right now and heal all the way back up to full. Switzerland is going to push on it to this pad. The Sky Attack coming through from the Ho-Oh to set down the blazing burning circle on the pad to do that extra damage. Sylveon is in the slow zone. Gatlu cannot stop them here, but they want to get access to that Unite move, as Ho-Oh once again setting the Rings of Fire on the ground so that the side of Team Germany can get nowhere near. And in a blink of an eye, they brought this score lead back to about 50 between these two teams. And they're going to take a Regieleki off the board to boot.
Yeah, really good call, making sure that tier 1 goes down before ripping that Aleki, putting on that extra pressure in that tier 2 goal zone. Meanwhile, Toast, making sure that they don't lose the level lead. He was able to get a 40 dunk up here during that bot lane push. Does Unite move the Eldegoss, trying to remain alive. Leafeon coming in clutch with the cleanup, gets the KO on that Eldegoss, and Germany is able to kind of fend this off in like a 2v4 fashion. There is a Regirock up there for the taking in that top path, but not any members from any teams looking at it just yet.
Regirock is not really the Pokemon that most people want to see in that top lane. You know, it's always the preferred Reg Ice, or if you have a supporter, it's always that it's always preferred that Reg Steel, and if you have a supporter that's doing heals, it's that Reg Ice. The Queen is going to go in, stomping her way through. These boots were made for stomping, Bridget, and that's just what they're going to do, as we've got a fight breaking out. Gatlu is in the bottom lane all by themselves. The Queen has gone in with another stomp, getting wished up by Nils on that Umbreon. Toast is dangerously low on health, no access to another Unite move, but Mew has access to that Unite move. It doesn't need a Unite move to heal, but Snow says, "This is my kingdom now," and sends Toast right back to Nurse Joy. And now we've got a brawl down in the middle. Umbreon popped their Unite move, and Switzerland evaporated and disapparated, and Germany is going to get a nice big dunk into that tier 1.
Wow, it kind of seemed like Switzerland was able to fight them off there, with Snow getting that clutch KO on the Serena, but leave it to Leafeon and Mew to clean up shop. Now this Regirock is theirs for the taking. It may not be a Regice, it may not be a Registeel, but it is going to be a really strong buff before this Groudon fight, who has just spawned on this map.
Yeah, look, we're heading on in. Groudon is here, and Niels did use the Midnight Prance coming out from the Umbreon, so no Umbreon Unite move, which makes it significantly weaker heading on in to this final fight. Snow is in that, sorry, Toast is in that top path. The Queen just waiting to make their move. Queen to D4 when checkmate imminent, but Gatlu is going to try and score a 50 in here. Ho-Oh has gone in as well. The Mystical Fire is coming through as well from Skull. Snorlax might need to pop the power nap. There it goes. The Cotton Cloud Crash had to come out from the Elder Goss. Toast has finally decided to go in and says, sit down and bend to your queen with the Queenly Ascendant. The KOs are raining in from Germany as 2 members go down for Switzerland, 1 member down for the side of Germany. Hydro Spin is trying to spin to win, but Gatlu says, no, that's a team wipe for Germany.
Wow, what trust Gatlu had in his teammates. He was fully not there for that engage. He was getting a 50 cap in that bot lane. Finally does come up and start to turn the tide of the fight when I believe it was perhaps Toast, someone fell on the side of Germany, and Gatlu comes in at the last second, making sure his team has the ultimate cleanup and gets that Groudon. They know that they don't even really need to dunk here. Instead, they are on super defense mode. 3 members in the top path, 2 in bot, but it looks like Mew is pivoting, getting a KO on that Eldegoss, just making sure that they do not troll this lead. Here we see the Ho-Oh Unite move bringing Eldegoss back into the action.
I mean, Rekindling Frame does exactly that. 16 is going to go in. 43 is going to go in. I don't know if that's going to be enough, Bridget. Probably not, because Sylveon did manage to get a double score, but Gatlu also managed to score 53 seconds to go. And Germany, I believe, are going to take game number 1. That is exactly what they wanted to do before. We went through the previous scores of the previous 3 years. Germany has finally put a team out that can try and wrestle that crown away from Switzerland. Holy 248 to 523. Gatlu on that Leafeon. You're right. The absolute trust that he has with the rest of his teammates to let them do what they were going to do. But Snow's engage, the patience, allowing Dodo, Niels, and Aaron to really find where the rest of Team Switzerland were. Toast came in with the Queenly Ascendant. The Stomps were healing them all up. And again, I think it was just a brilliant Groudon fight from the side of Team Germany.
Yeah, they played it really patiently and positioned well. Gatlu, 126k. Thank God we buffed that guy. I know it's not the same moveset. It's just disgusting. It is sick work, and I just can't believe it. But this is actually only the second time in UEC history that Germany has been able to get even a game off of Switzerland. They were able to get one last year in the grand finals, but starting off this set super strong, leading this victory 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I think Germany have had different team members each time round that they've come in to the EUL. However, we've just been informed that Switzerland is the same winning roster from last year. So these are the same players that managed to take the entire tournament last year, Bridget. So they want to maintain their crown. Do they risk a Leafeon ban here? Because if you just give that to Gatlu, it's going to be an absolute problem for them to deal with. But nope, it's going to be Blissey. It's going to be Mew. It felt like they had a problem with Mew, did Switzerland, just putting that big amounts of range damage on. Suicune's going to be banned off. Mega Lucario is going to be banned off as well.
Yeah, the utility of Mew can just not be overstated. Like, she is so powerful. Like, even as an attacker player into Speedsters, it has that long range move. It has nice execute with Electro Ball. It is just has so much utility. I believe for the most part these bans are the same, but we are seeing that Leafeon ban come out. The problem with something like this is that Gatlu is kind of a monster on anything he plays, so you can't really ban out something, but I do feel like Leafeon just has so much pressure early game in the way Gatlu plays it. It's able to kind of be a score comp demon for their squad, but we are going to see the Darkrai come out as that first pick for Switzerland.
Speaking of score comp demon, Bridget,
Well,
Gatlu has decided that 3 heads are going to be better than 1. heading on into this game number 2. Germany want to take this one quickly. Gatlu's going to be focused on scoring, probably going to be playing that try-attack build. That is the more popular build right now in competitive. Drillpeck not seeing too much play right now with all of the crowd control that is going on Theia Sky Ruins. However, Jump Kick was nerfed in the recent patch. Its damage was nerfed as well. So we're going to see how effective Jump Kick is going to be right now, because Gatlu is very proficient on that Dodo. But Aaron, we have not seen this Pokemon in quite some time, and what a front line that Gardevoir has to sit behind.
Yeah, she will definitely need it. Gardevoir to me is such an NA pick. I am actually shocked to see it here for our Unity European Cup, but I'm very, very excited. I have not seen her in a hot minute. It is, I feel like, a bit scary to be playing this in the face of a Darkrai, but like you mentioned, this front line is going to be super clutch for Germany to keep their Gardevoir protected and making sure she can hit all of those long-range moves, which, yeah, we haven't seen a lot of poke damage coming out in these matchups. We do kind of have that slightly with Espeon, but I feel like we're going to be seeing the stored power build like we saw in the previous set. It also got a fair share of buffs and will be helpful in dealing with Gatlu on that Dodrio.
No, look, I agree with you. It is going to be a stored power. And again, the Fairy Singularity Unite move from Gardevoir cannot be understated, especially when teams like to bulk up in these team fights. Just one Fairy Singularity into a triple trample or even to an Aura Cannon is going to give Germany the lead. But something that really scares me right now, Bridget, is Volto and that Buzzwole pick. I have seen Volto run absolute roughshod. If they are able to get their stacks up, if they're able to get their hands on you, they are not going to let you go. As well as having Dragavel on that Blastoise as well, which is going to provide a lot of CC, which means that Volto has his chance to get his hands on you. There's not a lot that's going to stop them, which means Nils is probably going to have to use that mean look once again to keep Aaron safe. Toast, however, I'm curious here if we're going to see close combat or if we're going to see E-Speed. I feel like close combat would be the better moveset just because of the amount of sustain and the heals that we're going to get. But however, to get to that Darkrai and that Espeon, E-Speed seems like the perfect moveset to go in for Germany.
Yeah, Toast definitely has some options. I do feel like that Unstoppable, that power-up punch provides is going to be pretty nice into this CC-heavy comp. We do have a quick pause. Honestly, I'm like, I forgot you could even pause in the game. We've had such a smooth ride so far. Shout out to our production shots, but I am sure we will get back up and running shortly. Do you have any other thoughts on either of these comps while we're in this pause mode?
It's just really interesting right now because all of these Pokemon are in such a good place. Darkrai with that buff has been almost banned. Like, if you had a look, I think the stats came out on Twitter recently that it was Mega Charizard X, Mega Lucario, and it was Darkrai that were getting banned almost 80 to 75% of the time or more. I don't know what happened to my camera. I do really apologize for that, but
Wow.
it is what it is. So Darkrai is just a fun Pokemon, I think, to play. I think it's a problem to deal with because it has, again, it's a Pokemon that does so much damage, but with that crowd control aspect to it. So getting away from it is a problem. Running away from it, problem. But for me, the one thing with Darkrai is that Unite move. It just feels a little underwhelming. Worst Nightmare, you can actually be KO'd in your Unite move, but it does have the Isolate effect, Bridget. As we see, Volto is just not going to be stopped trying to get these stacks in.
Yeah, we are back to the action, and immediately into the action we go as we see huge amounts of damage coming out from the side of Switzerland, even able to get a KO on that Lucario, who is normal Lucario, who has that normal Lucario ability, which gives him the little shield once he hits a certain amount of HP. So really rare to see a Lucario, normal Lucario, go down this early, but it's gonna be Gatlu cleaning up quite a bit in that bot path on that Dodrio, already level 5 as we get into these first Altarios of the game.
I remember I reached out to Gatlu. I was like, I really want to learn how to do Dodrio, and the man sent me a PhD level message back on how to play Dodrio. So he knows how to play this. He knows how to do his movement is so incredibly precise. Is Gatlu's on any speed set that he decides to pick up, whether it was Leafeon in the previous game, he knows exactly where his team needs him. He knows how to get there, and he knows exactly what targets that he wants to go through. Team Switzerland do have the lead here. Nils is still not evolved yet here, Bridget. That Umbreon is struggling to get level 4, but Volto is just picking his targets left, right, and center, getting stack after stack. Those muscles are getting buff and beefy, and Gatlu wants to put an end to Volto's reign.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what a Buzzwole player wants to do. Get big and large and put on so much pressure in the early game. It took 4 members from the side of Germany to put a stop to him. That is just the power of a great Buzzwole player. And Hoopa is going to also see its demise in this top lane push. I mean, they were a bit outnumbered. Volto was on a tear, and Germany knew if they did not put a stop to it immediately, Volto was only going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's the one Pokemon that you just don't want to get on a tear and get fed, if there's any better term to do. But there we go. We have Snow here on trying to hit the Lucario, but that extreme speed, I believe, is what they're playing. And the last thing you want to do is be near a extreme speeding Lucario when there is farm around. So many targets for them to hit, but Volto has those big, strong arms, and they're going to do exactly that to try and pick up Gatlu and take out one of the main attackers. But Nils, with a beautiful mean look, takes down Volto, eliminates them from the fight, and Team Germany are rolling here, Bridget.
Yeah, I thought it was Gatlu popping his full heal. I don't have game audio, so don't quote me if he didn't actually do that. That enabled him to get away from Volto after he was trying to CC him. We are going to see Toast ripping this top lane Alecki. It doesn't seem like any movements have been made toward this bottom lane Reggie objective. We just see Gatlu stealing farm, perhaps for fun, from the enemy jungle. Nothing too crazy going on in this bot path. We are going to see Aaron try to get some dunks in with the help of their Snorlax. They're able to both get their dunks in, actually, but now we're going to finally start looking toward this Regice.
I mean, Regice is not a bad pick here. Again, it's just an objective that gives you global experience as well as a little bit of healing. Healing not going to be too useful to either of these teams, but Aaron has absolutely no troubles right now just laying down the side shocks with the Psychic Solaire is going to try and come out for the side of Team Switzerland to try and put a dent in Team Germany's offense. Gatlu is just going to zone out anything possible and secure that Regice with the buff. Team Germany are rolling here. They are not missing a beat right now. Volto, see, he wants to get these one-on-ones, that short triple trample to really extend the boost in, and Gatlu takes another KO for the side of Team Germany, and Aaron is just able to rain Psyshocks down and not let anyone get near Team Germany. They are doing very well. For the amount of KOs that they've gotten, for the amount that they're winning these fights, Team Bridget, they're only 50 points ahead.
Yeah, it does feel like Switzerland has done a good job getting these points in despite not breaking any of these tier 1s, whereas Germany has broken both of them. This tells me that Germany has not done very big overcaps. They are more prioritizing breaking these goal zones, which is a good strategy when you are looking into the face of a Portal Hoopa. You do not want to give them any kind of valuable mobility, but here we have Dodrio and Snorlax trying to fight off Switzerland in this kind of central area as they're making their way toward this bottom goal zone. But as you can see in that top path of Germany, just raining in points. They are doing such a good job with this macro.
I mean, Volto tried to unite into the backline and got absolutely stunned by Aaron and Gatlu combination. We got Drago, who has to pop the Hydro Typhoon to survive anything here. But once again, the damage being rained down by Gardevoir is just unstoppable. The Aura Cannon comes out from the Lucario as well as getting put in to the worst nightmare. It's so weird to see it from the outside, Bridget, because those two Pokemon are still running around but not getting targeted by anything. There goes Toast sent back to the Pokemon Center, and Gatlu has to be very careful that they don't get caught out. The Wish is going to heal back up. Umbreon Unite move into the Midnight Prayers, but does fall to the stored power coming out from Espeon, and Team Switzerland might have finally found a way back into this, but Gatlu is there to stop any kind of momentum that Team Switzerland are trying to build.
It is so crazy how Switzerland is able to get these really solid picks close to the goal zone, but Germany just never lets their whole team get wiped. They are doing such a good job, not only defending these tier ones, but putting on such enormous point pressure. Lucario does fall to Volto on that Buzzwole. He's taking a lot of damage though from the Gardevoir, getting 2 KOs for Aaron. I mean, I think maybe the routes got KO'd once early game, but I do not think I have seen Aaron get KO'd. I'm about to curse him. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. Your Umbreon is there. Surely you'll be fine.
I think that Dragon is trying everything to take down Aaron, but we did see the Fairy Singularity. I think it was a pavement ult. No one really got hit, but Volto did take the brunt of that assault from the side shocks. It is kind of on Snow here to really try to get to that backline and really make sure that Aaron stops putting on all that damage. But Snow is trying to deal with Gatlu. Volto is trying to deal with Gatlu. It's taking a lot of members, a lot of resources to deal with just one person. And now they are focused on this Regieleki marching into that tier 2 on the top side. And this is a Registeel. What better buff could you ask for Team Germany going into the Groudon fight? You've got 1 minute of your attack and special attack being buffed with 26 seconds to go until these teams get rowdy with Groudy, Bridget.
Oh, they shall be. That Registeel buff is really, really nice. It kind of inspires or can push the team to with it to push a fight earlier before that buff goes away. As you mentioned, it is only for 1 minute, so it won't be for the entire duration of this Groudon. But Germany does have the lead here. It is obviously a small lead, not quite over 100 points, so they have that information now, as Nils is already kind of caught out Dragon on this Blastoise, and he is deleted thanks to Aaron on that Guardy.
Psyshock Guardy, it is powerful, but it is squishy. But now Team Germany going to turn their attention. Toast has got into the backline to try and find Lucario, but unable to do so. All the members are back up for the side of Team Switzerland. Groudon has just barely been touched. Hooper calls roll. Volto manages to take a KO on a Gatlu. Psychic Solaire does get popped, and there's a member down for the side of Team Germany. Team Switzerland are now they've taken out 3 members of Team Germany, and now they're going to turn their attention to the Groudon. Aaron is still there. Snorlax is still there. Volto is making sure that this is going to go to the side of Team Switzerland. It does, but now the most important thing here, Bridget, stick together and go and score, because that Hunderberger puts them right in the lead, but not by much.
Yeah, they still have a long journey ahead. Just under a minute left in this game. We see the Hoopa portal come out, but Hoopa is KO'd. Snow is KO'd. Blastoise picking up a KO of their own. This is a tight point margin for Switzerland, and they do seem to be getting these KOs, which is so important. They needed to win that engage because they could give away this Groudon buff like they have to Gatlu. He has the Groudon buff now of his own. Gardevoir kind of hanging out in this central-ish area. I don't know if we're going to be able to see any more points go in. It looks like Switzerland is kind of backed off, knowing that they have this lead, but Buzzwole, Volto, very clutch. Just make the lead a little bit wider, just in case someone tries to do something sneaky, like it looks like Gatlu is doing in the top half.
Gatlu was trying, and there was a ping pong match between Draco and Volto on the Buzzwole, and Blastoise just pinging the Snorlax between each other, pushing them away and surfing them back. But what a comeback. Team Switzerland are going to take a game number 2 with a turnaround. It felt like they were behind most of that game. But again, once again, a Groudon can turn the tides. And it was a brilliantly fought Groudon fight. Again, Dragon got taken down early, but was able to come back and manage to secure it. Gatlu going down was probably the key. They were really waiting for Gatlu to make his move in that fight, but getting caught by the big, beefy, buggy arms of Volto was its downfall. And again, Bridget, I'm getting deja vu, because this is exactly how set number 1 started. We're going to a best of 5. I'm calling it now.
You already called it before the game.
I'm gonna
I
call it
think
again.
you've
I'm gonna
already
call-
manifested it for us.
call it again.
We are about to see this back and forth at least for 2 more games. This is a best of 5 situation. I feel like we've seen these Hoopa clutch unite moves multiple times in our sets today. Even if they are not running portals, you have that big giant portal for the whole team when you use your unite move, which kind of allows something like an early KO from your, or getting early KO'd like on the Blastoise. Not the most damaging thing to the fight because you can use that Hoopa Unite to get them right back in the fight, and even have those invincible iframes that you get when you respawn back in and have them actually be usable in the fight. Obviously, we didn't see a lot of that Blastoise defense on the bottom
Yeah.
side of the pit, but he must have been putting in work because they could not even come close to that Groudon. We are even zoomed out with our camera and we like could not see them even getting in anywhere near it, especially for a Gardevoir. You don't have to get that close to put some pressure on it. So really great stuff from the reigning champs of Switzerland.
Yeah, it's really it's so crazy to hear like the way that Team Germany was controlling that game. Switzerland are the reigning champions and they want to take that crown back. Germany have lost to Switzerland 3 years in a row. I don't mean to I'm not rubbing salt in the wound here or anything, but it is just this history and the stories behind these teams that make these games of Pokemon Unite so much more exciting because there's more on the line than just wins and losses, titles. It is history right now. There is bragging rights. We are all of these countries are part of the EU region and they are fighting for that top spot. And some of these players play together on the same teams all across Europe. So, I mean, it's friend versus friend, it's foe versus foe, it's team versus team, it's country versus country. We're all tied up and I'm really excited about it. But I can say I'm excited about all I want, but we have to do our caster's job and do try to analyze. Was Darkrai as effective as you expected it to be, Bridget?
I mean, I do feel like, I think in that initial fight, Snow was able to put pressure on Gatlu on that Dodrio, but it kind of feels like they both got away. I mean, I know it has been Snow's pocket pick for this entire tournament. He was definitely playing it last week as well, but we are going to see him forced off of it as Germany bans out his Darkrai.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because once you get hit with that Dark Void, you get Dreepy, you get Sleepy, and then if he hits you again, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Germany's going to ban out, Germany's actually on your purple side, so they switched it around. They weren't happy with Volto's Buzzwole in that last game because it did a lot of damage. Once Volto got his hands on you, it was a problem. Again, 3 members of Switzerland's previous comp all banned out for this game number 3, and Switzerland have just said, you don't get to play Suicune, you don't get to play Leafeon, and you don't get to play Mega Lucario. But for the first time, Bridget, in this set, we are going to see Toast on a Mega Charizard X, and that is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of love a target ban. I think it is hilarious and like bold to be like, you know what, forget what was happening so far. We just want to push you off of the things that were giving you success and potentially comfort picks. So obviously these players have to have a deep pool of Pokemon to make it this far and any kind of competitive setting. But I think it is a good strategy just to be like, maybe we haven't been playing like much today. So just kind of shifting their strategy from the get-go, because there's not a lot of time in draft to pivot. We are going to see that really strong core of Snorlax and Hoopa come out for Switzerland.
Oh, yes!
Oh, your boy!
My boy is going to make it field. Snow is going to pick up the Mimikyu, stop the presses. No other Pokemon matters right now in this draft of 10. I am kidding. Of course, that double all-rounder core coming out from Switzerland is interesting. Zacian quite consistently named probably one of the best top laners since its introduction. It has not fallen out of the meta. It's always been quite strong. However, Bridget, it did receive a nerf. Metal Claw was deemed an issue. So the devs decided to give it a nerf. Now, Gatlu's going to play Talonflame. Dodo's going to play Crustle. Try to figure that confusing sentence out right now. I thought Skull was going to go for Alolan Raichu. Now, I think I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it to you. I think Alolan Raichu is the best attacker in the game right now with the amount of burst damage, the amount of mines that it can put out, as well as its ability to dash. I have not seen an Alolan Raichu not deal a decent amount of damage going through, but that Sylveon is also a problem to deal with because it's just so bulky. But my question to you, Shadow Claw or Play Rough?
Both have their benefits. I will be interested to see. I feel like, was it Shadow Sneak and Shadow Claw that got buffed? I don't know. I don't play Mimikyu. You're the Mimikyu guy. I would probably assume that is what we're going to see. Trick Room is a viable option on this Mimikyu. It takes up so much space, and it's kind of a good answer to a speedster like Talonflame. So I'm definitely excited to see how Snow pilots this Mimikyu. I'm also really excited to see how Zacian fares with those recent nerfs. It has kind of been an off-season demon in that top path, so I am curious to see if it can still hold that title. Obviously, Switzerland still believes in it, so I think it's still extremely strong for what it does. So we have some fun new mons we haven't seen yet today in this matchup, so excited to see what they're able to bring.
Oh, no.
And as is tradition, we're gonna pause really quick at the beginning of the game.
I mean, Rezu with the Sableye was not happy that Sableye was not picked. So Sableye has decided to enter our systems and give us probably a crash going through or a disconnect coming out. Interesting comps. I'm absolutely loving the fact that we're seeing different Pokemon come out from different sides. Obviously, we did see consistently Snorlax. We saw Suicune as well being played in set number 1. We did see Mega Lucario get banned off, and we saw Mega Charizard be allowed out. The first time that we're seeing Mimikyu come through. First time we're seeing Zacian come through as well. That pause was so quick, man. We never get to actually discuss any kind of stats or anything. These players just want to get right to it, Bridget. Charizard actually going to take a central lane for the first time. And who else but Snow on that Mimikyu is going to go into the central lane for Team Switzerland?
Yeah, it all checks out to me. I think finally we don't have an invade type situation going on. Just kidding. I can see the bird icon. Obviously, Gatlu is going to try to make sure that Snow has a bad time on that recently buffed Mimikyu. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I respect the grind, but it is Snow who gets his blue buff. But I want to say, yeah, I think Gatlu got the red. I'm trying to think of where the buffs are, and yeah, we see the Mega Charizard Toast has both theirs from their jungle, so Gatlu able to steal that red one away and get the KO for his squad, that KO opener on the Snorlax.
And look, Gatlu said slow zone be damned as they went deep into the enemy territory to try and get the KO on the Sylveon. They really don't want Sylveon online because once Sylveon does get online, it is going to be a problem because with those two all-rounders, Sylveon can just support it with as much damage as he can. But the Hooper Highway going to come into good effect as all 4 members are called down into the bottom lane right now. Zacian going to throw everybody off. The booster coming out from the Mew. 67-9. Germany has taken control early, Bridget, into this game, and they are scoring for fun with that early invade paying off. And Gatlu said he wants some more because he's right back in to that central lane for Team Switzerland.
Yeah, and Nils has honestly done an incredible job defending in this top path for Germany. I feel like he's been alone for like this entire game, and they've only scored like 8 points because there have been so much disruption in other areas. Gatlu's in their jungle, they're on bot lane. I mean, they're not even really looking at Nils in this top path, leaving him to kind of ride out this. It was formerly a 1v2 pretty well, but now we can see 4 members from Germany collapsing in this top path, looking to get more points in and put some pressure up here finally.
I mean, it's a smart decision. Once you take away one of those tier ones away from the side of Team Switzerland, you're going to take away the Hooper Highway, which means the traveling, the distance, the amount of movement that Team Switzerland have is going to be less. Gatlu takes to the sky. We see that he has 2 buffs around his little Pokemon there. That Talonflame was able to secure both of Snow's buffs, who does not have access to that Shadow Sneak just yet, or the Trick Room. Now he's got access to Shadow Sneak, which means, but no, it's actually going to be Trick Room. So the infinite dashes are going to come out for the side of Snow, and he's going to play that Shadow Claw moveset. Trick Room, not the most common moveset that we see come out for the side of a Mimikyu. However, it is able to dodge Gatlu when he comes down for that fly. The reset from the Hooper is going to bring everybody back at full health, and Germany has something to deal with because it's going to be a 4-on-3 situation in this basement part. They've just decided to start this Regieleki with Snow just shredding it with that. Oh, I was going to say that Shadow Claw, but Crustle has claws of their own.
This is why Crustle is key. I mean, what a monster of a tank. It is just so useful, not only putting in those walls, but putting in so much pressure on those objectives. Shout out Dodo in his very large hat. It is looking so good so far in this set. Germany able to break that tier 1 goal zone. First goal zone broken of this game around the 6-minute mark, which is also good macro on the side of Germany. You do not want to give up that lane farm too early in the game. It is just so much XP given up to the team, and we are going to see this Mega Charizard come out to play as they want this top goal zone gone as well.
Hooper Highway is having blockades all over it. Snorlax is going to stop Mega Charizard from scoring as well, but Mega Charizard does have that regen ability. It just does not go down, Bridget. That is going to be almost a 32 overcap. Beautiful Rock Tomb is going to make sure Zacian cannot go anywhere, and Team Germany were not happy again with how that previous game went. They thought they were in the lead. They thought they had it in the bag. Mimikyu is here as well, trying to pick up a KO on Charizard. Mew has to pop that Unite move. Umbreon's going to pop the Midnight Prance as well. And Switzerland are dropping like flies. Team Germany looking strong.
Wow, I couldn't even keep track of the Switzerland members who used their Unite move, but it just felt like they got deleted once Umbreon was able to use the Unite move of their own, stealing up any kind of shields and just helping their team, getting them to explode. Obviously, Umbreon doesn't steal as many shields as it once did, but 50% is still a significant momentum swing that he was able to give their team and kind of complete that push that I thought was looking a little greedy at before that happened.
Yeah, it looked definitely greedy. That tier 1 probably has about 10 points left on it. Team Switzerland are going to try and get some defense here as Gatlu takes to the skies once again, looking for that Hooper. Gatlu really doesn't like the supporters of other teams. He's targeted Eldegoss in the previous game. He's targeted Hooper every single time so far. Snow can't get away. There is just too much going on. Big yawn coming out from Snorlax to try and slow Team Germany down, but Zacian is also going to be... No, I thought he was going to be felled, Bridget, but just surviving on an HP in a dream, and that base is not going to be standing for very long as Hooper calls roll quickly to try and to get rid of this pad and do a great defense.
Yeah, not the biggest overcap, but that goal zone is gone, which is something you never want to see, that open path to that home goal zone. It is just such a level of exposure you don't want to have to deal with. Charizard is just coming out in full fashion, and these beams are hitting almost everyone on the side of Switzerland. We are seeing some demonic Mew play, but it is going to be the 5 KO streak, the Penta from Toast on that Mega Charizard.
I mean, Toast is already scary. Giving them a Mega, and that is a problem. We have 2 level 13s on the side of Team Germany, and their central laner is Snow on that Mimikyu. He's not able just barely hit double digits on that level 10. Switzerland have some catching up to do. We're about to hit final stretch, but they've now got another problem to deal with because this is heading to tier number 2. Sylveon wants to chase down Gatlu, but unfortunately Gatlu can take to the skies, but doesn't need to because the beam came down and sent Sylveon right back to Nurse Joy.
I mean, this Mew just does not miss. It has been devastating having these flash out from that backline. Not only the beams, but the Electro Ball and those boosted autos have been so clutch. I guess Mew players don't play Surf anymore. I don't think I've seen a Mew use Surf in like a year. I kind of forgot that that was the other move it could do, but I just think Beam and E-Ball are so clutch. Unless you're doing maybe a goal zone defense, you don't really see that Surf come out. Gatlu on the hunt for Skull on the Sylveon, making sure nothing sneaky happens in the spot lane. We also have some coverage from Germany in the top path as well. They're doing a great job defending these tier 1s as Groudon is about to spawn in.
Switzerland has been in this situation before. Unite moves on deck for all members of both teams. They've been in this situation before, Bridget, where they were behind throughout the entire game. They were trying to get a quick score in, but stopped by the Mew Beam. The Trick Room is going to come in as well, as Snow is just gauging around what is going to happen. 427 to 96, both tier 1s up for the side of Team Germany. They don't need to take this. They do not need to take this at all. They don't even need to stop Gatlu, who has to use that Unite move in the top path, as you can see on that mini-map, just moving and grooving. Gatlu could get caught out, and it does. Once again, Gatlu is the first one to fall for the side of Team Germany, and Team Switzerland smell blood in the water. They're going to try and do whatever they have to do to take them down. Niels has gone forward to push them out here. Charizard's going to take to the skies with the Mega Unite, but there is the play with B to stop the Mega from coming through. One member down for the side of Team Switzerland. Everybody got sent back by Hooper for the reset. Charizard manages to take a KO as well. So 2 members down for the side of Team Switzerland. Only 1 member down for the side of Team Germany. Now we've got 2 members down for the side of Team Germany. Big X's are coming out from the Crossel. Execute from the Mew with the Electro Ball. The Shadow Claws are going all the way over. Still 2 members down, and Hooper finally decides to call roll. Not before Snow gets felled, and it's only Zacian and Hooper versus the world.
Yeah, I feel like the issue with Switzerland's comp, even though they were able to get some big KOs, they just don't really have the rip needed to get this Groudon out of the picture. We have Hoopa and Sylveon trying to make a play for it now, but less than 30 seconds left, and you have Gatlu looming in the shadows. I mean, he has quite the secure on his hands with this fly that does go off, and it is not enough to secure. Switzerland does get the secure, but there's only 15 seconds, and with over like 300 points needed, I don't think they're going to be able to get them off.
I mean, they're going to go as they're going to try and break this tier 1, but that's enough. There's another one going into tier 2. Can they double score?
I think so. I think Sylveon got one in that tier 2 as well. I think they were able to double cap on that tier 2. I don't think it was quite enough. Oh my god, Germany with the littlest of oh my god, Germany able to clutch it up. Switzerland played that perfectly. What a 15 seconds. They could not have done more than what they did in that moment. I mean, if there was maybe an orb on the ground, they just didn't even have time to pick anything else up. I mean, who needs KOs when you can just get the Groudon? But ultimately, Germany wins that one in this.
I mean,
game number
Germany,
3,
Germany
4? I don't remember.
We're in game number. Ooh, hang on. We're in game number 4. I believe that's game number 4, Bridget.
I don't know what just happened.
No. We should be at game number. What game are we at? I'm completely forgot. I was looking at the scores down bottom. Switzerland was able to take this to a game number 2, but I believe that was only game number 3. So I believe.
That's what I thought too.
I think the score should be Germany 2, Switzerland 1. So
okay,
we will see we'll see how that goes as well. Again, wow, victorious for the side of Germany. And again, this is going to be interesting. There we go. We've got the scoreboard sorted out. Apologies. We have sorted out the results. That was game number 3. Germany are at set point for this one. Game number 3. So Switzerland can bring it back right now, and my prediction will come true for a game 5. I mean, we've been sitting here for a while, but again, this is so exciting. Bridget, Germany was so oppressive to Switzerland in that last game. Just completely shutting out anything that they could do. Snow on the Mimikyu was a problem. Don't I'm not really seeing Trick Room being as effective as I thought I wanted it to be. I thought Shadow Sneak might have proven to be a little bit better to really try and maybe target the Mew in the back line. Gatlu also stopping Snow from getting any kind of central area buffs. I mean, for the first 2 rotations, Snow only got one of those buffs. So Germany's doing a really good job of just suffocating Switzerland. But I mean, Switzerland have taken the crowd on majority of the time in these games.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even. Obviously, most of the game was going the way of Germany. I feel like they had complete control of this map. I agree with you. Gatlu is really devastating on the speedsters. He is always kind of where you don't want him to be if you're Switzerland. It is very, very hard to play around that kind of player, and it just feels like he's really leading towards these speedsters today. So I feel like that's almost something you can expect out of him. So if you have any kind of answers to a speedster type player, now is the time to implement them. Obviously, they're going to continue pushing Snow off of this Darkrai, which was a part of their success in their initial winning game, but Switzerland's gonna have to pull out all the stops here now that they have to win this one to stop Germany from moving on to the finals.
It is set point. If Germany wins, they go through to face Team France, and Switzerland are going, all right, there's a lot on the line for Germany. Not only the spot in the grand finals, Bridget, but also the bragging rights, and they eliminate the past 3 years of defeats to Team Switzerland. Zacian banned out, Darkrai banned out. These are targeted bans for the side of Germany. They don't want Switzerland on their comfort picks at all. And Switzerland don't want Germany on any of these powerful picks like Mega Lucario, like Suicune, and now not even a Talonflame for Gatlu to back up on. But we know Talonflame doesn't need a specific Pokemon to cause problems, and one of those Pokemon is going to be Toast on that Mega Charizard X.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised to not see Charizard X on that ban list. It just felt really, really devastating. And we actually see Switzerland take the Leafeon. That was kind of what I was thinking we were going to see from Gatlu, since he was playing it before he pivoted to that Talonflame pick. But Leafeon and Blissey, a really great start to the Switzerland draft, but we are going to see Aaron on that Mew again, who just looked unreal. But maybe with this Leafeon, he won't be able to have as good of a time.
Yeah, look, I think Skull is going to go hunting for any kind of squishy Pokemon. Charizard can also get eliminated by that Emerald Two-Step, but can counter it with that Seismic Slam into the Mega Evolution. Volto is going to pick up another all-rounder that is, I want to say, quite a high-skill Pokemon, because if you can get the stance change working on that Aegislash, it is so hard to get rid of. Gatlu is going to go back to tried and tested 3 heads being better than 1. Dodo with the Rock Tombs as well was so impressive in the previous game. Mamoswine is coming out to play as well. I thought Snow was going to give us a Water Bear, because his Serena might be scary, his Mimikyu might be scary, but Water Bear has to be one of the most underrated threats right now that I'm not seeing be played quite often in any other region.
Yeah, I feel like Germany kind of going with this tried and true meta comp, but man, I guess Snorlax found dead in a ditch, because we have the Mamoswine coming out for Dragon. I love this, kind of getting those freezes off, getting any kind of CC that they can on this really frontline brawly heavy comp. We could also see a Mamoswine invade, or potentially some help in that central area if that is where Snow is going to go. Seems like he's been living in that jungle area, so we can almost guarantee that Gatlu will be in that jungle with him as well. So I'm hoping to see some preparation from Switzerland, Mamoswine either invading itself or helping out its jungler in their own early game.
This
farming.
is the thing though. Skull has gone onto a central laner that doesn't. It gets its power spike at level 4. So after the Xatu and after a single buff, that Leafeon's going to be online. Gatlu has not really been in the central lane all too often, usually going into that laner phase with the speedsters. So they could go for a straight invade. So I am with you there. Swinub is a great defensive Pokemon to help out in that central lane to make sure that Leafeon gets online. But it's an Urshifu, Bridget. It's literally the Pokemon that has a sign that says "Invade me if you must." Because as much as of a powerful Pokemon that Urshifu is to come out of that central lane, when it is in that central lane, I think out of all the 78 plus Pokemon that we have, Urshifu is the Pokemon I've seen get invaded the most. If there is an Urshifu, it is a Unite rule that you must invade, because once that Water Bear starts with those flowing fists, well, it's kind of hard to get them to stop. And even an Urshifu can almost chase down a Dodrio, especially if it's able to get a stun off.
Yeah, super true. I will be interested to see how Switzerland does this jungle phase. They could just send the bear elsewhere and say good luck, giving Leafeon the advantage, getting it online as early as possible. So that would make a lot of sense to me, but maybe they'll share it, maybe they'll split it, but then your Urshifu is not going to hit that level 5. It kind of desperately needs, especially if you are Water Bear, which I imagine is what we're going to be seeing here today. I feel like we see Water Bear at least more prevalently lately than that Dark Bear Big Punch, but Switzerland's bringing out a pretty unconventional comp with the Aegislash and the Mamoswine as well. So I'm excited to see how they pilot these things. It is quite a lot of level 3 or like stage 3 evolutions on the table for Switzerland. I feel like one of the scary parts about Mamoswine is if you get stuck low level for too long. I honestly don't even think, it's not like Mamoswine's Unite move is incredible. It's still pretty good as a Piloswine, but it isn't ideal. You do get some good stat boosts when you evolve, so we shall see. And then Aegislash, it's either going to be, I feel like it's either real good or real bad. So I am hoping for the real good Aegislash play today.
We did have a crash before coming through as well, so I think everything has been reset. We had a pause come through, so we're gonna see if we can get that reset for us. Just been told by production that we did have a crash. You're right, Bridget. There's a lot of high scaling, high level Pokemon on the side of Team Switzerland. You've got Urshifu at a level 5, which is not too bad if it's your central laner. Aegislash just is not. Unfortunately for me, as also an Aegislash player, Doublade just feels very, very weak. Because once you get access to that wide guard and you're in that stance change and you're in your shield form, the boosters and the healing that Aegislash give you as you go through is actually pivotal for just being allowed to survive. So the level spikes to get from Doublade to Aegislash just feels kind of criminal, I'll be honest with you. And unfortunately, it's all about to see if Switzerland can actually gain advantage in the early game, because Germany are so good at starving them in this early game. The suppressive fire that Germany is raining down is so hard to deal with, and it all comes off of the back of the distractions that Gatlu is bringing out with these species that he's choosing. 3, 2, 1. We're back in. We're gonna see what lane each one of these Pokemon are gonna go to. Charizard's gonna go your central lane. Urshifu, of course, gonna go in your central lane for Team Switzerland.
Yeah, I am. It does seem like that little bear is going to be taking that jungle for Switzerland. Makes sense to me. Leafeon can fight for itself in that bottom lane. We do see that cute little Swinub helping out the cause, making sure there's no funny business going to happen with those buffs. And it actually looks like Germany will C'est la vie, let the Urshifu get its buffs, no problem at all, as Germany is just sticking to this normal laning phase, 2 up top, 2 up bottom, and Toast coming out from that jungle area. and we are going to see the first KO actually go to the Aegislash. Doe is in the mix as well. It looks like we are going to see that Water Bear come through for Switzerland in that top path already, wreaking havoc. I mean, Gatlu does not yet have its level 5, but finally comes in clutch there, and we have 3v3 going on in this bot path, the Swinub with the big KO, but not for long, as Gatlu does have that level 5 now and is going to be a menace in this bottom path.
Oh, absolutely, Bridget. Gatlu is just going to do exactly what Gatlu does. The Urshifu is online. They did get a nice little pickup on the top side as well. 37 points going unanswered for the side of Team Switzerland. We're going to watch the Charmeleon head on in back to their central lane to try and get this farm going. I believe we have a bit of bug going on with our observation. We're trying to sort that out as quickly as we can. We'll see what we can do, get going, but throughout, we're going to try and give you the best that we can go through for the map, Bridget, especially if this is our final game.
We are in Charmeleon only POV. I hope this is what you guys wanted, because our spectator has the bug where we can't change them on. So Toast, I'm looking at you, buddy. You better be in every fight. You better be all over this map, because we are relying on you and these double buffs. Germany in the lead already. We are going to see Snow try to make a play for that first objective of the game, the Regidrago, but it is going to go to the side of Gatlu from Germany.
Yeah, I mean, going in as well, Charizard is online. Toast is going to go with the Fire Punch, but it's dangerously low. This Urshifu Water Bear is doing a big amount of damage. As Aegislash picks up the KO on Nils on the Umbreon. Toast gets a KO on the Piloswine, but turn around, Turbouse play does avoid one with the scoring animation. But Charizard should not be staying alive for that wrong.
That was a little evil. I mean, not only does he get the dunk off, is able to get some stacks in, kind of give the Switzerland top lane a run for its money, almost picking up KOs there as well, but he was on a sliver of HP, and here we see the Leafeon getting a KO in that top path for Switzerland. They're able to secure up that Regieleki as well. There is a Regirock in this bot path that looks like it will go the way of Germany, unless Piloswine has something to say about it. This is a bit of a rough duo to go against Crustle with that devastating X-Scissor, keeping him out of the game, but wow, really, really close with that high horsepower, but it is going to be our main character, Toast, with the secure.
That's a tall task to ask up against a Crustle and a Charizard, but Toast is the main character of this game number 4. We've got the Umbreon Midnight Prance going in as well. Triple Trap is going to come out from Gatlu. Charizard has decided to go Mega and try and get a few KOs. KO streak of 2. Dojo picks up a KO on the Leafeon as well, as Team Switzerland is falling one by one. Aegislash trying to hack and slash their way through, but to no avail. Gatlu and the rest of Team Germany trying to do the math for this one, but just settled with a nice little 26.
Yeah, we take those. I feel like most of the other members of the team were able to get their dunks in previously, so they weren't working with a lot. They would just rather break the goal zone at this point, this 5-minute mark. Germany is looking really, really secure in this lead. They're also doing well with these fights. It feels like they've, for the most part, been going the way of Germany, at least when Toast is in the picture and he's Mega Charizarding. I mean, what a devastating pick. I feel like we didn't see it with the perma success in the last set, but man, when Toast is piloting it, it has been pretty strong. He's 1 HP and is still able to stay in these fights. I mean, I know the ability was nerfed, but maybe not enough, because it is crazy how much shielding and HP he gets.
I mean, the fact that Toast, again, the regeneration on Mega Charizard is nuts. It should be KO'd. It should have been KO'd by the Blissey, I'll be honest with you. But Toast doing a little twirl in the dance for us because he knows we're watching. But Urshifu is going to try and go in. Again, the range on this Fire Punch, Bridget, is so ridiculous, as Urshifu is just going to try and save their way out, but the Rock Tomb is going to stop them. And the combination play Toast knows that he is the main character in this set because we can't watch anything else right now, and they are putting on a clinic. We're 160 points to the good for the side of Team Germany. If this keeps up, Bridget, Germany are going to take this semi-final.
Yeah, this is huge for Germany. I mean, they have never even been able to secure the win at the UEC, but they're able to secure up that Regirock. I mean, what a play from Toast. He knows, he has to know we are stuck on him because he is making sure that we are getting a lot of the action. Mew getting a KO for itself as well. And Germany has just been putting on so much pressure. We do see the Leafeon unite, but it is met with our Mega Charizard, Mew with the double KO streak, and Toast picking up a KO on Snow.
I mean, these Mew Solar Beams are doing the work. We're just going to hope that Toast decides to go to every single objective so that we can see everything going on
So
on
far,
the
so
map.
good.
Again, picking up a KO on the Mammoth. Just go fight him, Toast. Just go fight him. Turn that red into brown and have your way. Again, just going to retreat. Give us a nice little look at the home pad as well. 302 to 107. Once again, this is the same story that we've seen throughout all 4 of these games, Bridget. Germany taking that lead and Switzerland making the Groudon fight a problem for Germany. They have this Groudon fight pretty much under control. They did really well, and in just previous game, it was a 15-point difference between both stealing the buffs away, stealing the Groudon away, but now Toast is just trying to get that Unite move back as we see Switzerland are going to secure a Regieleki courtesy of Skull on that Leafeon. 25 seconds to go. Could this be it for Germany? 3 years of heartbreak erased in one moment. Groudon is about to spawn.
I mean, Germany is in a clutch position, but as we know, you have to keep playing until the very last second in these Groudon map games. It is not a sure shot just because you have a snowball doesn't mean that this endgame fight is gonna go your way, especially if the points are all over the place. We do see the safeguard come out from Blissey, saving the Mamoswine from that devastating X-Scissor from Dodo, but the Mew beams are beaming Dodo, trying to capture anyone and anything, making a play for his team. Looks like Mamo is about to go down, but he actually catches the Blissey Unite.
This is going to come out into the white guy coming through. Midnight Prance goes through as well. Mew is just trying to beam anything they can. The triple trample we saw come through, and that is 3 members down for the side of Team Switzerland in a blitz and a glory. Urshifu is swinging at anything that will move, and Gatlu takes down the Mamoswine, but it is Toast, our star of the game, that picks up the 3 KO streak, and Switzerland might have just broken the curse. The Germany might just get a victory. They just have to hold on for 1 more minute here, Bridget.
Yeah, and Germany is in this power position. They have the Donna buffs. They have the point lead. They have the level 15 Mega Charizard. They also still have their Crustal Unite move. Switzerland still has the Aegislash Unite move, and they are able to make a push in this bottom tier 1. Toast, I'm gonna need you to go to the bot lane so we can see how this push is going. Dodrio still is gonna be getting dunks in as well as Mew. But that means it's gonna be a 3v5 situation, and Umbreon actually able to get a KO on that Leafeon. That is huge for the defense, and here comes Mega Charizard, making sure that no other nonsense goes down in this bot lane. We are gonna see the victory of Germany over Switzerland for the first time ever in the UEC. Germany is on top today.
I mean, Toast just decided to turn up fashionably late to everything that goes through, and Gatlu giving us a lovely triple trample, but that is going to be it for our second semi-final, everybody. 3-1 to switch to Germany. Oh, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. That was an actual, Bridget, that was an actual repeat of last year's 2024 grand final, but the scores were flipped. Last year in the grand final, Germany went down to Switzerland 3-1. However, this time they have reversed the score, taking it up, sitting themselves in the grand final by winning our second best of 5 semifinals, 3-1. Shout outs to Germany. And I do apologize, everybody, for that whatever happened with the observing. Somehow we got caught out and we were just stuck on Toast. But Toast knew what he was doing and decided to give us a show for our troubles.
If it had to be anyone, honestly, that was probably the player to do it. I mean, Toast has just been popping off on this Mega Charizard when given to him. It's been really, really fun seeing the Mega Charizard in action since previous to this it was permabanned. Still might be something you may want to consider banning after what I've witnessed here today, but really, really fun for me as a third party to watch and not be the one getting Mega Charizard ulted. So, incredible job from Germany. You've done it. And now they have the opportunity to take home the title for the first time ever. Germany has never won our European Cup before. So, they are going to be the underdogs, I think, going into tomorrow's finals.
I'm curious to know if Gatlu has won a tournament on his own channel before, which would be very interesting. But of course, that is going to be our 2 best of 5s. We hope you guys enjoyed it. These teams put it all on the line for you guys. So Germany and Switzerland, the full rosters of the team: Toast, Gatlu, Aaron, Daddylon, Not Dodo, Nils were the ones that were playing today. Switzerland, Snow, Volto, Skull, TT Bone, Dragavol as well. For France, we had Nachos, Kranix, Rezu, Qatar, and Traffy. And Spain, we have Jose, Birdilo, Adesu, Albanoa, and Jeroid. These incredible players, guys, who are going to be representing the EU region possibly in the next season. It's around the corner, Bridget, but I think we're going to bring up the bracket one more time. I don't know if the bracket has been filled out, but we can show you what is going on. So, production, if we have a bracket, could you please show it to us? Thank you so much. There you go. The semifinals. Germany versus Switzerland ended in a 3-1. Spain versus France ended in a 3-2, which means tomorrow you guys will be joined by the lovely Killosaurus and the absolutely incredible Husky, and they will be bringing you the grand finals between Germany and France. Wow. What an exciting grand final that's going to be, Bridget.
Yeah, you guys will get a different duo from OCE and NA for European finals. I know, it's kind of cute.
I didn't even think about that.
Kind of cute. But I do believe they will be doing the 3rd place match tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys tune in for that best of 3 and then the best of 5 grand finals. We will have Germany versus France for all of the marbles. So we either will have a repeat winner in France or a brand new champion in Germany. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited to tune in and watch all the action.
100%. I am so excited to be there. But I get for you and me, Bridget, it's 5 o'clock in the morning for me. I'm assuming it's the afternoon for you. So
yeah, normal time.
But before we go, we gave a big shout out to all of our players. Thank you guys so much on behalf of Unity Clash for participating and representing your region and your country. Big shout outs to everyone that we had behind production: Tangerine, Yaman, and Zara, as well as all of the mods in chat. And a big shout outs to Nightera as well, who's doing the production as well, switching the scenes and telling us all the important information. From me, thank you so much for the viewers, all of you guys shouting out your favorite players, shouting out your favorite Pokemon, and even shouting out us. I'm reading your chat. I can see what you guys are doing. So thank you so much. And also, Bridget, thank you for being my co-caster for this incredible production. I've had such a fun time being behind the caster's desk with you, and I hope I get to do it again. Before we head off, do you want to give a special shout out? Thank you to anybody, just in general. Go ahead.
Thank you guys for having me back this weekend as well. I always love pretending I'm European and seeing all of the action brought to us by these EU players. Shout out the staff, shout out Lobo. I think this was our first time casting together. It was so much fun. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime. But yeah, just thank you guys all for hanging out and seeing what these players got. UCS is gonna be so good. I can't wait.
It's going to be such a fun ride, but we will be back here tomorrow. Kilo and Husky will join you for the grand finals and third place match. But from Bridget and myself, that is going to be it for today. Have a fantastic evening, morning, or good night wherever you are. And it is the weekend, so I hope you guys have a relaxing time. Maybe play some Unite, maybe some Mega Charizard X if you feel like it. However, that is going to be us. We're going to head on off. Bye-bye, everybody. See you later.
Bye.